Every day is a chance to move closer to your goals. And the only thing standing between you and your success is the decision to take action right now. Today I will show you exactly how to move forward, no matter how tough things get. You don't need a magic formula or to wait for a life-changing event. What you need is a clear, simple plan to help you make steady progress every day. Whether you're facing obstacles, feeling overwhelmed, or simply not seeing the results you want, this video will teach you how to push through and keep moving. You'll discover practical steps that you can start using right now to build momentum and turn your goals into reality. Stick around until the end, and you'll be ready to take charge of your day, your life, and your future, one step at a time. This is your time to start making progress, no matter what. Let's dive in. Number 1, take full control of your daily actions. If you want to make real progress in life, you have to take full control of your daily actions. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because everything in your life, the results you get, the success you achieve, the person you become, comes down to what you do every single day. Not what you think about, not what you hope for, not what you wish would happen, but what you actually do. Most people live life on autopilot. They wake up, go through the motions, react to whatever comes their way, and hope that things will somehow get better. But hope is not a strategy. Wishing for a better future doesn't create one. It's action that changes things. It's discipline. It's taking charge of your own life, making decisions, and following through no matter what. The truth is, if you don't control your actions, something else will. Your habits will control you. Your emotions will control you. Other people's expectations will control you. And before you know it, you'll be stuck in the same place, wondering why nothing ever changes. That's why you have to make a decision right now to take control of your life, by taking control of what you do every day. The power of choice every single day. You have 2 choices. You can let the day control you, or you can control the day. You can wait for things to happen, or you can make them happen. You can drift through life, or you can direct your life. And the difference between those who succeed and those who struggle is simple. Successful people take full responsibility for their actions. They don't wait for motivation. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They don't wait for things to be easy. They act. Think about it. Every great success, every major achievement, every transformation, none of it happens by accident. It happens because someone made a decision to take control. They decided to wake up earlier. They decided to work harder. They decided to stop making excuses. And they committed to doing the right things every single day, whether they felt like it or not. Master your morning. The first step to taking control of your daily actions is taking control of your morning. Because how you start the day sets the tone for everything that follows. If you wake up late, rush through your morning, and start the day feeling scattered and overwhelmed, you're already playing catch-up. But if you wake up with purpose, if you take charge of your morning, you'll carry that momentum into the rest of the day. That means having a plan. It means waking up with a clear purpose. It means avoiding distractions, staying focused, and doing what needs to be done before the world demands your attention. Successful people don't wake up and check social media. They don't waste their first hour scrolling through nonsense. They use that time to focus on their goals, to prepare their mind, to move their body, to set the foundation for a productive day. So ask yourself, how are you starting your mornings? Are you taking control, or are you letting your morning control you? Because if you want to win the day, you have to win the morning first. Remove distractions and take action. Most people don't lack time. They lack focus. They spend hours every day doing things that don't matter, things that don't move them forward, things that waste their energy. They let distractions pull them in 100 different directions, and then they wonder why they're not making progress. If you want to take full control of your actions, you have to remove the things that are stealing your focus. That means cutting out distractions. That means being intentional with your time. That means deciding in advance what matters and what doesn't. Because if you don't, your day will be filled with meaningless tasks, interruptions, and wasted energy. And here's the key. You have to stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for things to be easy. You just have to start, because action creates momentum. The more you do, the easier it gets. The more you push yourself, the stronger you become. Develop unbreakable discipline. There will be days when you don't feel like doing the work. Days when you feel tired. Days when motivation is nowhere to be found. And those are the days that separate the successful from the unsuccessful. Because successful people don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It means following through on your commitments, even when it's hard. It means taking action, no matter what. And discipline isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. You build discipline by keeping your promises to yourself, by doing the hard things every single day, by proving to yourself that you are in control, not your emotions, not your excuses, not your circumstances. When you develop that kind of discipline, nothing can stop you. Track your actions and hold yourself accountable. If you don't track your actions, you don't know if you're making progress. And if you don't hold yourself accountable, it's too easy to fall into old habits. That's why you need to measure your progress. Keep a record of what you're doing every day. Write down your goals. Track your habits. Look at where your time is going. Because what gets measured gets improved. And be honest with yourself. Are you really doing the things you need to do? Are you really giving your best effort? Are you really following through? Or are you making excuses? If you want to change your life, you have to be brutally honest with yourself. Because if you don't hold yourself accountable, no one else will. Stop making excuses and take responsibility. Excuses keep people stuck. Excuses make people weak. Excuses steal people's potential. And the moment you stop making them, the moment you take full responsibility for your actions, is the moment everything changes. No more blaming circumstances. No more blaming other people. No more saying, I don't have time, or I don't feel like it, or it's too hard. If something is important to you, you make time for it. If something matters, you do it. If something is holding you back, you figure out how to overcome it. That's what winners do. The question is, are you going to step up? Are you going to take control? Are you going to stop making excuses and start making progress? Because that's what it takes. Final thoughts every single day. You have a choice. You can either control your actions, or you can let them control you. You can either take charge of your time, or you can waste it. You can either move forward, or you can stay the same. But the truth is, time doesn't wait. Life doesn't pause. And if you're not intentional about your actions, you'll look back in a year, 5 years, 10 years, and wonder where all the time went. So decide today, right now, that you're going to take full control of your daily actions. Decide that you're going to stop waiting, stop making excuses, and start doing what needs to be done. Because once you take control, once you commit, once you follow through, nothing can stop you. Number 2, wake up early and own your morning. Waking up early is not just about getting out of bed before the sun rises. It's about taking command of your day before the world has a chance to dictate how it unfolds. The moment you open your eyes, you have 2 choices: to take control or to let life control you. Those who achieve greatness don't leave their mornings to chance. They design them with precision, discipline, and purpose. They understand that the first hours of the day set the foundation for everything that follows. Most people wake up with no plan. They hit the snooze button, drag themselves out of bed, rush through their morning, and start their day in a state of stress and disorder. They react to life instead of preparing for it. That's why they always feel behind, always overwhelmed, always struggling to catch up. If you want to break free from that cycle, you have to make a decision right now to wake up early and own your morning. Because if you can master the start of your day, you can master your life. The key to waking up early isn't just about setting an alarm. It's about having a compelling reason to get out of bed. If you have no purpose, no mission, no burning desire to make something of your day, then of course it's going to be hard to wake up early. But when you have a vision, when you know exactly why you're getting up, you won't need motivation. You won't rely on willpower. You'll wake up with excitement because you know you're building something great. You have to be intentional about how you wake up. The way you rise sets the rhythm for your mind, your energy, and your productivity. If you start your day in chaos, you'll carry that chaos with you. But if you start your day with clarity, focus, and discipline, you'll take that power into everything you do. The first hour of your day is sacred. It's your foundation. And if you waste it, you'll feel the effects for the rest of the day. The mistake most people make is believing they need more sleep than they actually do. But in reality, it's not about how long you sleep, it's about the quality of your rest and the purpose behind your waking hours. Some of the most successful people in the world get fewer hours of sleep than the average person, yet they operate at peak performance because they have conditioned themselves to wake up early and own their morning. They don't stay in bed longer than necessary because they know time is the most valuable resource they have. When you wake up early, you gain something most people never experience: uninterrupted time to focus on yourself. Before the emails start coming in, before the phone starts ringing, before the demands of the day pull you in 100 different directions, you have time for yourself. Time to think, time to plan, time to set your intentions, time to work on your goals without distractions. Successful people don't start their mornings by checking their phones. They don't waste the first minutes of their day scrolling through nonsense, looking at what other people are doing. They don't let the outside world control their mindset before they've even had a chance to take control themselves. Instead, they use their mornings to set the tone for the day. They invest in their mind, their body, and their future before the rest of the world even wakes up. Owning your morning means moving your body. Your energy is everything. If you start your day feeling sluggish, unmotivated, and tired, that feeling will stay with you. But if you wake up and immediately engage your body, stretch, exercise, breathe deeply, you activate your mind, you wake up your spirit, you get yourself into a state of high energy and focus. It's not about doing a 2-hour workout. It's about moving, about getting your blood flowing, about stepping into your power from the very first moments of the day. Your morning should also include time to feed your mind. What you consume in the first moments of your day matters more than you realize. If you fill your mind with negativity, distractions, and useless information, your entire day will be shaped by it. But if you fill your mind with wisdom, with knowledge, with inspiration, you'll carry that strength with you. The people who grow, the people who succeed, the people who dominate their industries, they read, they study, they learn every single morning. They invest in their minds because they know that growth doesn't happen by accident. Planning your day is another key to owning your morning. If you wake up without a plan, you'll drift. You'll waste time trying to figure out what to do, reacting instead of acting with purpose. But when you wake up and already know your priorities, already know what needs to be done, you move differently. You act with confidence, with clarity, with certainty, and that changes everything. The biggest enemy of waking up early is the habit of staying up late for no reason. People waste hours at night watching meaningless entertainment, doing things that don't add value to their lives, then wonder why they struggle to wake up early. If you want to own your morning, you have to respect your night. You have to make the choice to go to bed at a reasonable time, to create a sleep routine that allows you to wake up feeling refreshed and ready. It's not about sacrificing sleep. It's about optimizing your rest so you wake up ready to dominate the day. Waking up early isn't easy at first. Your body will resist it. Your mind will try to convince you to stay in bed. But discipline is about doing what's right, not what's easy. If you push through, if you commit, if you stay consistent, it will become second nature. You won't even have to think about it. It will become who you are. And that's when everything changes. Because when you wake up early, when you take control of your morning, when you start your day with purpose and power, you separate yourself from the majority of people who are still struggling just to get moving. You put yourself ahead. You create momentum before most people even open their eyes. And that momentum will carry you through the rest of the day, making you more productive, more focused, more unstoppable. Owning your morning isn't just about productivity. It's about setting the foundation for the life you want to live. It's about controlling your time instead of letting time control you. It's about proving to yourself every single day that you have the power to dictate how your life unfolds. So ask yourself, are you going to continue hitting snooze, wasting the most valuable hours of your day, letting life happen to you? Or are you going to take charge, wake up early, and own your morning? The choice is yours. But understand this, the way you start your day determines the way you live your life. And if you want a life of success, discipline, and achievement, it all begins with taking full control of your mornings. Number 3. Set clear goals and track your progress. Setting clear goals is the foundation of success. Without them, you're drifting through life. reacting to whatever comes your way instead of creating the life you truly want. Goals give you direction. They give you purpose. They give you something to work toward every single day. And if you're not setting goals, if you're not tracking your progress, you're leaving your future to chance. And that's a dangerous game to play. The people who achieve great things in life don't leave anything to chance. They don't wake up hoping things will work out. They don't rely on luck. They set clear, specific goals, and they track their progress relentlessly. They know exactly what they're working toward, and they hold themselves accountable every step of the way. That's how real success is built, not through wishful thinking, but through intentional action. Most people don't set goals. They have vague ideas of what they want: more money, better health, a successful career. But they never define what success looks like in clear, measurable terms. And because they don't define it, they never reach it. They stay stuck in the same cycle year after year, wondering why nothing changes. If you want to break that cycle, you have to get serious about setting goals. A goal is not just a wish, it's a commitment. It's a decision that says, this is what I want, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get it. And it's not enough to just think about it. You have to write it down. Putting your goals on paper makes them real. It gives them weight. It forces you to take them seriously. Because when you write something down, you're not just hoping, it's a declaration, a contract with yourself. But here's where most people get it wrong. They set goals that are too vague, too unrealistic, or too overwhelming. A goal has to be clear. It has to be specific. It has to be something you can measure and track. If your goal is to get in shape, what does that mean? How much weight do you want to lose? How many days a week will you work out? What foods will you cut out of your diet? If your goal is to make more money, how much more? What will you do to earn it? What skills will you develop? What steps will you take every single day? Clarity is power. The clearer your goals, the easier it is to take action. Because when you know exactly what you're aiming for, you can break it down into steps. You can create a plan. And once you have a plan, the only thing left to do is follow through. Tracking your progress is just as important as setting the goal itself. If you're not tracking your progress, you don't know if you're moving forward or standing still. And that's why most people quit. They don't see results because they're not paying attention to the small wins along the way. Progress isn't always obvious. Sometimes it's slow. Sometimes it's hard to see. But when you track it, when you write down your actions, measure your results, and review your progress, you stay motivated. You see how far you've come, and that keeps you going. Success is built on small, consistent actions. It's not about making one big move. It's about making small, intentional steps every single day. And when you track those steps, when you hold yourself accountable, you build momentum. You start seeing results, and those results fuel you to keep going. One of the best ways to track your progress is to set daily and weekly targets. If your goal is to lose weight, track your workouts, your meals, your energy levels. If your goal is to grow a business, track your sales, your outreach, your productivity. If your goal is to improve your mindset, track your habits, your thoughts, your daily routines. Tracking doesn't have to be complicated. A simple notebook, a calendar, an app, whatever works for you. But the key is to review your progress regularly. The most successful people in the world don't just set goals and hope for the best. They track everything. They analyze what's working and what's not. They make adjustments. They refine their approach. And that's why they keep moving forward while everyone else stays stuck. Because they don't just set a goal and forget about it. They stay engaged with it. They stay committed to it. Another reason tracking your progress is so powerful is that it holds you accountable. When you see your progress, or lack of it, right in front of you, there are no excuses. You can't lie to yourself. You can't pretend you're working hard when you're not. The numbers don't lie. The results don't lie. Either you're making progress or you're not. And if you're not, it's a wake-up call to change something. Most people quit too soon because they don't see immediate results. They expect success to come overnight, and when it doesn't, they get discouraged and give up. But success doesn't work that way. It's a process. It takes time. And if you're not tracking your progress, you won't see the small wins along the way. You'll think you're failing when in reality you're making progress. You just don't see it. Every great success story is built on persistence. The people who win are the ones who keep going. Even when it's hard, even when they don't see results right away, they trust the process. They stay consistent. And eventually the results start showing. If you want to achieve your goals, you have to be willing to track your actions, measure your results, and adjust when necessary. You have to be honest with yourself about what's working and what's not. And you have to stay committed, even when progress is slow. The truth is, success is not about talent. It's not about intelligence. It's about discipline. It's about consistency. It's about doing the right things, day in and day out, whether you feel like it or not. And the best way to stay on track is to set clear goals and track your progress relentlessly. So ask yourself, what do you really want? Are your goals clear? Are they written down? Are they specific, measurable, and actionable? Are you tracking your progress every day? Because if you're not, you're leaving your future to chance. And that's not how winners operate. Winners take control. Winners plan, execute, measure, and adjust. Winners stay committed until they get what they want. You have everything you need to succeed. The only question is, will you take control? Will you get serious about your goals? Will you track your progress and hold yourself accountable? Because if you do, nothing can stop you. Your success is in your hands. And it all starts with setting clear goals and tracking every step forward. Number 4, push yourself to do uncomfortable tasks. Growth only happens when you step outside of your comfort zone. The problem is, most people avoid discomfort at all costs. They choose the easy path, the familiar routine, the predictable life. They never push themselves, never challenge themselves, never force themselves to do things that make them uncomfortable. And as a result, they stay the same. They never grow. They never improve. They never reach their full potential. If you want to be successful, if you want to be strong, if you want to achieve more than the average person, you have to be willing to push yourself into discomfort every single day. Everything you want in life is on the other side of discomfort. The skills you wish you had, the confidence you want to develop, the success you dream of, it all requires you to face challenges that make you uncomfortable. But most people don't want to feel that discomfort. They don't want to struggle. They don't want to feel awkward, uncertain, or out of place. They don't want to fail. So they avoid the things that could actually change their lives. They want to be fit, but they don't want to endure the pain of a tough workout. They want financial freedom, but they avoid learning new skills, taking risks, or stepping into leadership roles. They want success, but they're afraid to put themselves out there, afraid of rejection, afraid of looking foolish, and that's why they stay stuck. Not because they're incapable, but because they refuse to do the hard things that would set them free. The people who achieve the most in life are the ones who do what's uncomfortable. They push themselves beyond their limits. They embrace the struggle. They don't run from difficulty. They run toward it. They understand that every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Every difficult situation is a chance to get stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Discomfort is not your enemy. It's your greatest teacher. Every time you push yourself to do something uncomfortable, you're expanding your capabilities. You're proving to yourself that you can handle more than you thought. You're developing mental toughness, resilience, and discipline, the very things that separate winners from losers. If you want to get ahead in life, you need to make a habit of doing hard things. Every day, you should deliberately seek out something that challenges you, something that makes you a little nervous, something that forces you to push past your current level of ability. It could be as simple as waking up an hour earlier than usual, having a difficult conversation you've been avoiding, taking on a new project that intimidates you, or pushing yourself through an extra set at the gym when your body is telling you to stop. These small acts of discomfort add up. Every time you push yourself beyond what's comfortable, you build mental toughness. You strengthen your ability to handle stress. You train yourself to be someone who doesn't back down when things get hard. And that mindset is what separates the successful from the average. The truth is, the things that make you uncomfortable now are the things that will make you strong in the future. Every great leader, every top performer, every successful entrepreneur has one thing in common. They got comfortable being uncomfortable. They didn't wait until they felt ready. They didn't wait for perfect conditions. They acted. They stepped into the unknown. They did what scared them. And that's why they're ahead. while others are stuck in the same place, year after year. Fear and discomfort are signals that you're about to grow. If something scares you, if it makes you uncomfortable, it's usually a sign that you need to do it. It means you're stepping into new territory. It means you're leveling up, and that's exactly where you need to be. Because growth only happens when you push past what's easy and challenge yourself in ways you never have before. Most people live their entire lives avoiding failure, avoiding embarrassment, avoiding pain. But the people who truly succeed are the ones who embrace those things. They see failure as feedback. They see struggle as part of the process. They don't let fear stop them. They use it as fuel to push even harder. Think about the times in your life when you've grown the most. It wasn't when things were easy. It wasn't when you were comfortable. It was when you were challenged, when you were forced to adapt, when you had to figure things out, push through obstacles, and prove to yourself that you could handle more than you thought. That's where real confidence comes from. Not from staying safe, but from stepping into the fire and coming out stronger. If you're not doing things that make you uncomfortable, you're not growing. If you're not pushing yourself beyond what's easy, you're not improving. And if you're not improving, you're falling behind, because the world is moving forward, whether you like it or not. And if you're not growing, you're getting left behind. The best way to build mental toughness is to deliberately seek out discomfort. Don't wait for life to force you into hard situations. Put yourself in them. Make it a daily habit to do something that challenges you. Take the harder path when you have a choice. Choose the option that requires more effort, more courage, more discipline. Over time, this will make you unstoppable. Most people quit as soon as things get hard. They give up when they don't see immediate results. They let discomfort break them. But if you can train yourself to push through discomfort, to keep going even when it's hard, you will win. Not because you're more talented, not because you're luckier, but because you refuse to quit when others do. Life rewards those who are willing to do what others won't. It rewards those who are willing to step into discomfort, to take risks, to push through fear and doubt. The people who achieve the most in life are not the ones who had it easy. They are the ones who embraced difficulty and used it to make themselves stronger. Your comfort zone is a trap. It feels safe, but it's holding you back. It keeps you small. It keeps you stuck. If you want to reach your full potential, you have to be willing to leave it behind. You have to be willing to take on challenges that scare you, that stretch you, that force you to become more than you are today. Success is not about waiting for the right moment. It's about acting now, even when you don't feel ready. It's about doing the things that scare you, the things that make you uncomfortable, the things that push you beyond what you think you're capable of. Because that's where growth happens. That's where transformation happens. That's where success is built. So stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop avoiding the hard things. Stop letting discomfort dictate your actions. Push yourself. Challenge yourself. Step into the fire and become stronger because of it. Because in the end, the only way to become the person you're meant to be is to embrace the discomfort that comes with growth. And if you can do that, if you can train yourself to love the challenge, to thrive in the struggle, then there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that can stop you from achieving everything you want in life. Number 5. Stop wasting time on useless distractions. Time is the most valuable resource you have, yet most people waste it on meaningless distractions that add nothing to their lives. They scroll endlessly through social media, watch hours of mindless content, engage in pointless gossip, and fill their days with activities that bring no real growth, no real improvement, and no real results. Then they wonder why they feel stuck, why they aren't making progress, why they aren't where they want to be in life. The truth is simple. Success belongs to those who take control of their time, who eliminate distractions, and who focus only on what truly matters. The biggest difference between those who succeed and those who fail isn't talent, intelligence, or luck. It's how they use their time. High achievers don't waste hours on entertainment, meaningless conversations, or mindless activities. They guard their time like it's the most precious asset they own, because it is. Once a moment is gone, you can never get it back. Every second you waste on distractions is a second you could have spent building your future. Every minute you spend on useless activities is a minute you could have invested in developing your skills, growing your knowledge, and taking action toward your goals. Distractions are designed to keep you weak, unfocused, and unproductive. Companies spend billions to make sure you stay glued to your screen, constantly consuming, constantly entertained, but never actually moving forward. They want you distracted because a distracted person is easy to control. A distracted person never reaches their full potential. A distracted person never becomes great. If you want to change your life, you have to cut out the things that waste your time and replace them with actions that move you forward. It starts with awareness. Look at how you spend your day. Track your time. Be brutally honest with yourself. How many hours are wasted on things that don't matter? How much of your energy is drained by distractions that give you nothing in return? How often do you tell yourself you're busy, but in reality you're just filling your time with meaningless tasks? If you want to be successful, you need to eliminate everything that isn't helping you get there. Cut out the unnecessary. Remove anything that doesn't add value to your life. Most people live their lives in reaction mode. They wake up, check their phone first thing in the morning, and immediately get pulled into the digital world. Notifications, messages, endless scrolling. It all starts before they've even taken a moment to focus on their own priorities. Instead of controlling their day, they let distractions dictate their time. Instead of being proactive, they spend their time reacting to whatever grabs their attention. If you want to take control of your life, you have to break free from this cycle. You have to stop letting distractions steal your focus. Your time should be spent on things that make you stronger, smarter, and more capable. Instead of wasting hours on entertainment, use that time to build skills. Instead of scrolling through social media, read books that expand your mind. Instead of binge-watching TV shows, work on projects that bring you closer to your goals. Every moment is an opportunity to grow or to waste. The choice is yours. The modern world is filled with distractions that are designed to keep you addicted. Social media, endless notifications, pointless drama. They all exist to steal your attention. And every time you give in, every time you allow yourself to be distracted, you weaken your ability to focus, to be disciplined, and to stay in control of your own mind. The more you engage in distractions, the harder it becomes to break free. That's why you have to be ruthless about protecting your time. You have to set strict boundaries. You have to train yourself to ignore what doesn't matter and focus only on what does. One of the biggest time wasters is mindless scrolling. People spend hours every day consuming content that doesn't improve their lives in any way. They follow influencers who add no real value. They watch videos that don't teach them anything. They read comments that lead to nothing but wasted time. And after all that, they feel exhausted, unmotivated, and unproductive. If you want to break free from this cycle, you need to set limits on your screen time. Delete apps that waste your time. Turn off notifications that pull you away from your priorities. Be intentional about what you consume. Another major distraction is toxic people. There are people in your life who drain your energy, who waste your time with negativity, who pull you into pointless conversations and useless drama. These people are distractions. They add no value to your life. They keep you stuck. If you're serious about success, you need to limit your time with these people. Surround yourself with those who inspire you, challenge you, and push you to be better. Cut out the ones who hold you back. Distractions don't just come from the outside world. Sometimes the biggest distractions are in your own mind. Procrastination, self-doubt, overthinking, all of these steal your time and keep you from taking action. You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. You make excuses for why you're not ready. You let fear and hesitation keep you from moving forward. But every moment spent in hesitation is a moment wasted. If you want to make progress, you have to take action now. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop overthinking. Stop letting distractions rule your life. The most successful people have one thing in common. They are laser focused on their goals. They don't allow distractions to pull them away. They don't waste time on things that don't serve them. They know that every moment counts, and they use their time wisely. They set clear priorities. They work with intense focus. They eliminate anything that doesn't move them forward. If you want to reach your full potential, you have to do the same. You need to create an environment that supports your success. Remove distractions from your space. Set up a workspace that helps you stay focused. Develop habits that keep you disciplined. Wake up early and start your day with purpose. Plan your time so that every hour is spent on something meaningful. Stay disciplined even when it's hard. The more you train yourself to focus, the easier it becomes to stay on track. Your time is your most powerful weapon. If you waste it, you'll stay stuck. If you use it wisely, you'll achieve more than you ever thought possible. It's that simple. There is no secret formula. There is no magic shortcut. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they use their time. If you want to win, you have to stop wasting time on useless distractions and start investing it in what truly matters. Every moment you waste is a moment you'll never get back. You have to decide, do you want to be entertained or do you want to be successful? Do you want temporary pleasure or do you want long-term achievement? The choice is yours. If you're serious about changing your life, if you're serious about reaching your goals, then it's time to take control of your time. Cut out the distractions. Stop wasting energy on things that don't serve you. Focus on what matters. Be intentional with every second and watch how fast your life transforms. Number 6, stay focused on what truly matters. Most people live their entire lives chasing things that don't truly matter. They get caught up in distractions, in temporary pleasures, in meaningless goals that add nothing to their growth, their success, or their purpose. They waste years pursuing validation, seeking approval, chasing things that bring no real fulfillment. And then one day they look back and realize they spent their time on the wrong things, that they let the world dictate their focus instead of choosing their own path. If you want to build a life of meaning, if you want to achieve something that truly matters, you have to train yourself to stay focused on what is real, what is important, and what actually moves you forward. Everywhere you look, there are distractions trying to pull you away from your purpose. Society bombards you with entertainment, with mindless content, with things designed to keep you weak and unfocused. You're told to follow trends, to care about superficial things, to give your attention to what's popular rather than what's valuable. But those who achieve greatness don't waste their time on things that don't serve them. They don't chase trends. They don't care about what others think. They choose their priorities carefully, and they eliminate everything that doesn't align with their vision. The reason most people never reach their full potential is because they spend too much time focused on things that don't matter. They let their energy get drained by negativity, by drama, by the opinions of others. They waste their days thinking about things they can't control, instead of taking action on the things they can. They fill their time with activities that bring them no closer to their goals, and then they wonder why they feel stuck. If you want to move forward, if you want to create a life of impact, you have to cut out everything that isn't helping you get there. You have to develop the discipline to say no to what doesn't serve you, and yes to the things that truly matter. Your ability to focus will determine your success. The sharper your focus, the faster you progress. But the moment you allow yourself to be distracted, to be pulled in too many directions, you lose momentum. You start moving in circles instead of moving forward. That's why it's critical to be intentional with your time. You have to decide what matters most to you, and then you have to structure your life around that decision. You can't afford to let unimportant things take up space in your mind. You can't afford to give your energy to things that don't bring real results. One of the biggest traps in life is caring too much about what other people think. Too many people spend their lives trying to impress others, trying to fit in, trying to meet expectations that don't align with who they really are. They waste years chasing approval, trying to prove themselves, instead of focusing on what actually matters. If you want to be successful, you have to stop worrying about what others think. You have to let go of the need for validation. You have to trust your own path and stay focused on your own goals. Success doesn't come from doing 100 things at once. It comes from doing a few things with absolute focus and dedication. The most successful people in the world aren't the ones who try to be everything to everyone. They are the ones who master one thing at a time. They choose a goal, they commit to it, and they pour everything they have into making it happen. They don't get distracted by side projects, by unnecessary commitments, by things that don't align with their mission. They know that focus is the key to mastery, and mastery is the key to success. The world is filled with noise. Every day you are bombarded with endless information, endless opinions, endless distractions, trying to pull you in different directions. If you allow yourself to be consumed by this noise, you will never reach your true potential. You will always feel overwhelmed, scattered, unable to make real progress. But the moment you decide to block out the noise, to focus only on what truly matters, everything changes. You gain clarity. You gain direction. You start moving forward with purpose. It takes discipline to stay focused in a world designed to distract you. It takes effort to block out the things that don't serve you. But if you don't take control of your focus, someone else will. If you don't decide what matters to you, the world will decide for you. And more often than not, the world will push you toward distractions, toward meaningless pursuits, toward things that waste your time and drain your energy. That's why you have to be ruthless with your focus. You have to protect it like it's the most valuable asset you own. Because it is. There are only so many hours in a day. Only so much energy you have to give. Every moment spent on things that don't matter is a moment taken away from the things that do. That's why the most successful people are selective with their time. They don't say yes to everything. They don't let distractions take over their lives. They prioritize. They focus on their goals, their growth, their purpose. And because of that, they achieve more in a few years than most people do in a lifetime. If you want to reach your highest potential, you have to make focus your number one priority. You have to train your mind to ignore what doesn't matter and to zero in on what does. You have to stop giving attention to things that don't bring real results. You have to build the habit of deep work, of uninterrupted focus, of intense dedication to the things that move you forward. The more you train yourself to focus, the easier it becomes to stay on track. The less you allow distractions to control you, the more power you have over your own life. Clarity is power. The clearer you are about what matters most, the easier it becomes to eliminate what doesn't. Take time to define your priorities. Get clear on what you want to achieve. Once you have that clarity, use it as your guide. Every decision you make, every action you take, should align with what truly matters to you. If something doesn't serve your goals, cut it out. If something is pulling you away from your vision, remove it from your life. Success is about making the right choices, and the right choices come from knowing what truly matters. Your future depends on your ability to focus. If you allow yourself to be constantly distracted, you will never reach the level of success you are capable of. But if you take control of your focus, if you discipline your mind to stay locked in on what truly matters, there is nothing you can't achieve. You have the power to design your life, to build something meaningful, to create success on your own terms. But it all starts with focus. It starts with cutting out the noise, eliminating distractions, and putting all your energy into what actually moves you forward. Most people fail because they get caught up in things that don't matter. They chase the wrong goals. They spend their time on things that bring no real value. They allow themselves to be distracted. And before they know it, years have passed, and they are no closer to their dreams. Don't let that be you. Don't let the world dictate your focus. Take control of your mind, your time, your energy. Decide what truly matters, and commit to it with everything you have. Success is not about doing more. It's about doing what truly matters, with full focus and unwavering dedication. Number 7, take small steps forward every single day. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day, but underestimate what they can achieve in a year. They get excited about big goals, about massive changes, but when they don't see immediate results, they quit. They expect overnight success, instant transformation. And when it doesn't happen, they lose motivation. But the truth is, real success doesn't come from one big move. It comes from the small, consistent steps you take every single day. The people who reach the top are not the ones who make the biggest leaps, but the ones who show up day after day, no matter how they feel. Every journey begins with a single step. The problem is, most people never take it. They wait for the perfect moment, the right timing, the feeling of motivation that never comes. They tell themselves they'll start tomorrow, next week, next year, and before they know it, life has passed them by. But the secret to progress is simple. Just start. Start with what you have, where you are, and take the smallest possible step forward. It doesn't matter if it feels insignificant. It doesn't matter if it's not perfect. What matters is that you are moving, that you are building momentum, that you are taking action. Success is not built in a day. It is built in the quiet moments of discipline when no one is watching. It is built in the small decisions you make every single day. The choice to wake up early, to focus on your work, to push forward when it's easier to quit. Most people think success is about huge breakthroughs, but it's not. It's about doing the work, even when it's boring, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it. Because every step you take, no matter how small, moves you closer to your goal. The biggest mistake people make is waiting for motivation. They think they need to feel ready before they take action, but that's not how it works. Action comes first, and motivation follows. The more you take small steps forward, the more momentum you build, and the more inspired you become. It's not about waiting to feel good. It's about doing what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. And the more you do that, the stronger you become. There will be days when progress feels slow, days when it seems like nothing is happening. That's where most people give up. They think their effort isn't making a difference, that they're stuck in the same place. But what they don't realize is that growth happens beneath the surface. Every action you take is planting a seed. You may not see the results right away, but that doesn't mean they're not coming. Success is about trust, trusting the process, trusting the work, trusting that every step forward is bringing you closer, even when it doesn't feel like it. The people who win in life are the ones who stay consistent, who show up every day, who refuse to quit. They don't look for shortcuts. They don't wait for inspiration. They just do the work. And because of that, they achieve things that others only dream about. The truth is, most people fail, not because they aren't capable, but because they aren't consistent. They start strong, but the moment things get tough, they stop. They let obstacles break them instead of pushing through. But the people who truly succeed, they keep moving forward, one step at a time, no matter what. Think about it like climbing a mountain. If you focus on how high the peak is, you'll feel overwhelmed. You'll tell yourself it's impossible, that you'll never make it. But if you just focus on taking one step, and then another, and then another, before you know it, you'll look back and realize how far you've come. That's how real progress works. It's not about speed, it's about consistency. It's about showing up every day and taking one more step. Even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it. Too many people give up because they don't see results fast enough. They work hard for a week, a month, maybe even a year, and when they don't get the outcome they want, they stop. But success doesn't work that way. It's like water dripping on a rock. One drop doesn't seem like much, but over time, it creates a hole in the stone. The same thing happens with your goals. Every small action adds up. Every effort compounds. And eventually, it creates a breakthrough. But only if you keep going. Only if you refuse to stop. Most people want success to be easy. They want quick results, immediate rewards. But the truth is, anything worth having takes time. The most successful people in the world didn't get there overnight. They got there by working on their craft, improving themselves, and staying committed long after others quit. They didn't wait for motivation. They didn't get distracted by how far they had to go. They just focused on what they could do today. And they did it over and over again. The secret to success is simple. Just don't stop. No matter how slow you think you're going, no matter how small the progress seems, as long as you're moving forward, you are winning. The only way to fail is to quit. As long as you keep taking steps, even tiny, seemingly insignificant steps, you are still moving. And every step forward brings you closer to the life you want. Some days it will feel like you're not making any progress at all. Some days you'll feel like giving up. That's when you have to remind yourself why you started. That's when you have to push yourself to take just one more step. Because success is not about how fast you move. It's about whether or not you keep moving. The people who make it to the top are not always the fastest, the strongest, or the smartest. They are simply the ones who refuse to stop. If you commit to small daily improvements, you will be amazed at where you are in a year. The key is patience. The key is trust. Trust that every effort you put in is making a difference, even if you don't see it yet. Trust that if you stay consistent, if you keep showing up, you will get there. No matter how slow it feels, no matter how long it takes, progress is progress. And as long as you are taking steps forward, you are on your way. So start today. Take one small step. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be something that moves you forward. And then do it again tomorrow, and the next day, and the next. Keep going. No matter what, because every step you take, no matter how small, is building the life you want. Stay focused, stay consistent, and never stop moving forward. Number 8, challenge yourself to be better daily. Every single day is an opportunity to grow, to improve, to push yourself beyond where you were yesterday. The biggest enemy of progress is comfort. When you settle, when you stop pushing, when you accept things as they are, you stop evolving. The only way to become better is to challenge yourself. Not once in a while, not when it's convenient, but every single day. Because growth doesn't happen in ease. It happens when you push beyond what you think you can do. Too many people stay stuck because they refuse to challenge themselves. They do what's easy, what's familiar, what feels safe, and as a result, they never change. They repeat the same actions, live the same day over and over again, expecting things to magically get better. But the truth is, if you want to grow, you have to do things that make you uncomfortable. You have to take on challenges that stretch you. You have to get up every morning and ask yourself, how can I be better today? Most people avoid challenges because they're afraid. Afraid of failure, afraid of struggle, afraid of stepping into the unknown. But what they don't realize is that avoiding challenges doesn't protect them. It limits them. Growth only happens when you step beyond what's comfortable, when you willingly take on difficulties, when you embrace the discomfort of learning, adapting, and pushing through obstacles. That's when you unlock your true potential. Look at the most successful people in the world. They didn't get there by staying in their comfort zones. They got there by taking risks, by constantly striving for improvement, by challenging themselves to be better every single day. They didn't wait for things to get easier. They didn't wait for the perfect moment. They acted, they adapted, they learned, and they grew. The key to real progress is discipline. You can't rely on motivation. It's unreliable, temporary, and inconsistent. Some days you'll feel like giving it your all. Other days, you won't feel like doing anything. That's when discipline comes in. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's pushing yourself to improve, even when it's hard, even when you're tired, even when the results aren't showing up yet. Because growth isn't instant. It takes time. It takes effort. It takes persistence. You must set higher standards for yourself. You must demand more from yourself than anyone else ever could. You must refuse to accept mediocrity in any area of your life. Because the moment you settle, the moment you stop pushing, you start to decline. There is no standing still in life. You are either moving forward or falling behind. And the only way to move forward is to challenge yourself daily. Start small if you have to. Push yourself a little harder in your workouts. Read a book that forces you to think differently. Take on a task that scares you. Speak up when you normally wouldn't. Learn a new skill that feels intimidating. Every small challenge builds mental toughness. And the more you challenge yourself, the more resilient you become. You start to realize that you're capable of more than you ever thought possible. People who achieve great things aren't necessarily the smartest, the strongest, or the most talented. They are simply the ones who refuse to stop growing. They push themselves to improve, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's inconvenient. They embrace the struggle because they know that's where real growth happens. They don't wait for the perfect conditions. They create them by showing up and doing the work every single day. Think about your own life. Are you pushing yourself, or are you just going through the motions? Are you actively improving, or are you just existing? The difference between people who achieve their goals and those who don't is simple. Those who win are the ones who challenge themselves daily. They don't settle for good enough. They strive for better. They wake up with the mindset that today is another chance to get stronger, to get smarter, to get one step closer to their best self. The real battle is in your mind. Your mind will always try to protect you, to keep you safe, to convince you to stay where you are. It will tell you that you're not ready, that it's too hard, that you should wait, but you must override those thoughts. You must train your mind to see challenges as opportunities instead of obstacles. Because every challenge you overcome makes you stronger. Every difficulty you face prepares you for the next level. It's easy to compare yourself to others and feel like you're behind. But the truth is, the only person you should compete with is who you were yesterday. If you're a little better today than you were yesterday, you're winning. If you pushed yourself just a little harder, learned something new, or made even a small step forward, you are on the right path. And if you keep doing that, day after day, the results will be undeniable. Nobody is coming to push you. Nobody is going to wake you up in the morning and force you to chase your potential. It's up to you. Your growth is your responsibility. Your improvement is in your hands. Every day you have a choice. You can stay the same, or you can get better. And the only way to truly grow is to challenge yourself, to demand more from yourself, to refuse to settle for less than you are capable of. So don't wait. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the right moment. Don't wait for permission. Start today. Push yourself beyond what's comfortable. Do something difficult. Face something that scares you. Take on a challenge that forces you to grow. Because every day that you challenge yourself, you are building a stronger, more capable, more unstoppable version of yourself. And that is how you become better. Every single day. Number 9. Stop waiting and take action right now. Stop waiting right now. Don't wait for the perfect moment, the right opportunity, or the perfect conditions. They don't exist. The truth is, most people spend far too much time waiting for the right time to act, to make a move, to chase their dreams. But the reality is that this waiting is just another form of procrastination, an excuse to stay comfortable, to stay in the same place. You'll never know when the right time will come if you don't start moving. Now, the perfect moment to take action is not tomorrow, it's right now. There's an urgency in the act of moving forward, of taking action, of refusing to wait for something that might never come. Every minute you wait is a minute you could have spent moving toward your goal. Time is a limited resource, and once it's gone, you can't get it back. The longer you wait, the more you are allowing life to pass you by. The truth is that nothing will happen unless you make it happen. Sitting back and hoping for change won't bring any progress. Whether you're working on a personal goal, a business project, or an idea you've been nurturing in your mind for a while, the only way to move forward is to take action. It's as simple as that. If you want to get ahead, if you want to see progress, if you want to make something happen, you have to start acting. Don't wait for everything to be perfect. Perfection is a myth. Waiting for perfect conditions will keep you stuck. You'll spend years thinking, planning, and hoping, but nothing will change. The first step is always the hardest, because it's the most uncertain. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't have a clear roadmap, but that's the point. It's the discomfort, the uncertainty, that forces you to grow. Once you take that first step, things start to move, and the path begins to clear. When you act, you create momentum. The longer you wait, the more inertia builds up, and it becomes harder to take the first step. But once you start moving, it becomes easier. You begin to see small wins, and those wins fuel your desire to keep going. The more you act, the more confident you become. There's power in starting, even if it's messy. If you wait for everything to be perfect, you're going to wait forever. If you wait for the ideal conditions, you'll never take the leap. Action doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be taken. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. The biggest mistake you can make is not taking action at all. The fear of failure is what holds most people back. People don't want to take action because they're afraid of failing. But here's the thing, failure is part of the process. It's not something to be afraid of. It's something to embrace. When you take action, you will fail at times. But that's how you learn. That's how you grow. Failure is feedback. It shows you what doesn't work and brings you closer to what does. So don't fear failure. Fear not trying. Fear the regret of looking back years from now, knowing that you could have done more but didn't, because you were too afraid to take that first step. The only real failure is not taking action at all. Waiting for motivation is another trap that keeps people stuck. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. You can't rely on motivation to take action, because when it's not there, you won't do anything. Instead, you need to rely on discipline. Discipline is what makes you act, even when you don't feel like it. It's the power to push through the doubts and fears, to take action, even when motivation is nowhere to be found. You don't need to be motivated to start. You just need to start. The act of doing something, no matter how small, creates its own motivation. You build momentum by taking action, and that momentum keeps you going. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for the perfect feeling. Just do it. Take that first step, even if it's small. It's the only way to break free from the cycle of inaction and procrastination. Another reason people wait is because they're afraid of what others will think. They're afraid of being judged, criticized, or failing in front of others. But what you need to understand is that other people's opinions don't matter. Most people are too focused on their own lives to care about yours. The fear of judgment is just another excuse to avoid taking action. Don't let fear of others' opinions stop you from going after what you want. This is your life, and you're the only one who can make it happen. You don't need anyone's permission to pursue your dreams. You don't need anyone's approval to start taking action. The only permission you need is your own. The longer you wait for validation from others, the longer you'll stay stuck. The only way to move forward is to believe in yourself and take the leap, regardless of what others think. Remember, the only time you're truly stuck is when you're not moving. No action is a step backward. The longer you wait, the more fear and doubt will cloud your judgment. Every day you hesitate, you lose valuable time and potential. So take action now, even if you don't have all the answers. Take action now, even if you're scared. Take action now, because the longer you wait, the further you push your dreams out of reach. If you wait for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect conditions, you will never move. Success doesn't happen because the conditions are perfect. It happens because you act. Success doesn't care about the perfect timing. It cares about your willingness to show up and put in the work. So take that first step today. Stop waiting, stop procrastinating, and start making progress. Even if it's small, even if it's messy, just take action. It doesn't matter if you don't have all the answers. It doesn't matter if things aren't perfect. What matters is that you've started. What matters is that you've taken control of your life and started moving in the direction of your goals. Every moment you wait is a moment you lose. So stop waiting. Right now is all you have. Take action today and see where it takes you. You have everything you need to start, and every minute you wait is just another minute wasted. Don't look back and regret the time you spent waiting. Start now, take action, and move forward, because that's the only way to make your dreams come true. Number 10, keep learning and improving your skills. The pursuit of success isn't a one-time event or a singular achievement. It's a continuous journey. And the key to thriving on that journey is growth. Growth isn't just about personal development or self-improvement. It's about mastering new skills, broadening your knowledge, and constantly pushing yourself to become better than you were yesterday. When you stop learning, you stop growing. And when you stop growing, you stop improving. It's that simple. In today's fast-paced world, knowledge is more accessible than ever before. The internet has opened up a universe of resources, from courses to books, videos to podcasts. Everything you need to continue learning is within arm's reach. But the question is, are you using these resources? Are you actively seeking out new ways to enhance your skills and grow your expertise? Because this is one of the most critical factors in success. Too many people become complacent once they achieve a certain level of success or knowledge. They believe they've reached their peak, and they stop trying to push further. But the truth is, your potential is limitless. And as long as you keep learning, you keep growing, you keep evolving into a better version of yourself. If you don't continue to challenge yourself and develop your skills, you risk falling behind. The world around you is constantly changing, and those who aren't adapting are being left behind. The most successful people in the world aren't the ones who were born with some kind of special talent or intelligence. They're the ones who have a relentless commitment to learning and self-improvement. They know that no matter how good they get, there's always room to grow. always more to learn, and always new heights to reach. They understand that in order to stay relevant, to stay ahead, they must continuously improve themselves. Learning isn't just about acquiring new knowledge. It's also about refining the knowledge you already have. Think about it this way. When you first learn something new, it's like planting a seed. But to see that seed grow, you need to nurture it. You need to water it, give it sunlight, and make sure it gets the proper care. In the same way, the skills and knowledge you acquire need to be honed, practiced, and refined. Mastery doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, effort, and persistence. But the reward is worth it. The path to mastering any skill requires consistency. It's not about learning something once and thinking that's enough. It's about practicing that skill every day, improving it little by little, day by day. Whether it's writing, coding, public speaking, or any other skill, the key is consistency. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. And as it becomes more natural, you'll find yourself performing better and better. The world of learning is not static. What you knew yesterday might be outdated today. In fact, in some fields, what you learned a few months ago could already be obsolete. The world is evolving at a rapid pace, and staying still means falling behind. New tools, new methods, and new perspectives are emerging all the time. If you're not actively learning and adapting, you risk being left in the dust. You might be thinking, but I don't have time to learn everything. The truth is, you don't have to learn everything. You don't have to master every subject or be an expert in every field, but you do have to focus on the areas that will help you improve and grow in the direction you want to go. If your goal is to advance in your career, for example, then you need to focus on the skills that will help you do that. If you want to build better relationships, focus on emotional intelligence. The key is to keep learning in the areas that matter most to you and your personal goals. Learning is also about shifting your mindset. It's about embracing a growth mindset, which is the belief that you can develop your abilities through hard work and dedication. People with a growth mindset don't see challenges as obstacles. They see them as opportunities to learn and grow. They don't shy away from mistakes or failures, because they know that these are just stepping stones on the path to mastery. Embracing a growth mindset allows you to approach every situation with the belief that you can improve. When you approach challenges this way, you will find that you're capable of much more than you initially thought. Don't let your fear of failure or mistakes hold you back. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone fails. What separates those who succeed from those who don't is how they handle those failures. Instead of letting mistakes stop them, successful people use those mistakes as learning experiences. They analyze what went wrong, figure out what they can do better next time, and then move forward with even more determination. Another aspect of continuous learning is the willingness to step outside your comfort zone. Growth doesn't happen when you're in familiar territory. Growth happens when you're challenged, when you're pushed beyond what you thought was possible. That's when you discover new abilities within yourself. That's when you learn the most. So stop playing it safe. Take risks. Try things you've never done before. It's only by stepping outside your comfort zone that you'll truly grow. One of the most powerful ways to learn and improve is by surrounding yourself with people who are better than you. Find mentors, coaches, or peers who inspire you, challenge you, and push you to be better. When you surround yourself with people who are constantly learning and growing, you'll be inspired to do the same. They'll encourage you, share their knowledge, and help you see things from a different perspective. The people you spend time with will either elevate you or hold you back, so choose wisely. The best part about learning is that it's an ongoing process. You never reach a point where you stop learning. No matter how successful you become, there will always be something new to learn, something new to improve. In fact, the more you learn, the more you realize how much you don't know. That's not a reason to be discouraged. It's a reason to keep going. The journey of learning is endless, and that's what makes it exciting. If you want to succeed, you need to make learning a priority. You need to commit to constant growth, to always striving to be better than you were yesterday. There's no finish line in the race of self-improvement. It's a lifelong journey, and the rewards along the way are countless. Each new skill you acquire, each new piece of knowledge you gain, brings you one step closer to your goals and dreams. Keep learning, keep growing, and never stop improving. The world is full of opportunities, and the more you know, the more you'll be able to take advantage of them. So don't wait for the right moment to start learning. Start now. Read the books, take the courses, find the mentors. Challenge yourself to grow every single day. Keep pushing yourself to be better, to learn more, and to improve your skills. This is the path to success, and it starts with you. Number 11, remove excuses and get things done. Excuses are the silent killers of progress. They are the subtle whispers that hold us back from achieving greatness, from realizing our potential, and from living the life we truly want. We've all made excuses at some point, whether it's because of fear, uncertainty, lack of time, or even the simple idea that we're just not ready yet. But the truth is, excuses do nothing but delay our success. They keep us stuck, and they make it harder for us to reach our goals. Here's the reality. You are capable of more than you realize. You have the skills, the intelligence, and the determination to make incredible things happen. The only thing standing between you and success is your willingness to take action and remove the excuses that have kept you from moving forward. Every time you make an excuse, you are giving yourself permission to procrastinate, to avoid the hard work, and to settle for less than you're capable of achieving. But when you choose to eliminate those excuses and take responsibility for your actions, you open the door to your true potential. The first step in removing excuses is to understand where they come from. Excuses are often rooted in fear, fear of failure, fear of not being good enough, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. But what you have to realize is that fear is just a feeling. It doesn't define who you are or what you can achieve. Fear is something everyone experiences, even the most successful people in the world. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they handle that fear. Successful people don't let fear stop them. They acknowledge it, but they don't let it control them. When you feel fear creeping in, it's a signal that you're on the verge of something important. It's a sign that you're stepping out of your comfort zone. And that's where real growth happens. If you let fear dictate your actions, you'll never move forward. But if you push through that fear and take action anyway, you'll find that the things you were once afraid of aren't so scary after all. In fact, they often turn out to be the very things that lead to your biggest breakthroughs. Another major source of excuses is the belief that you don't have enough time. Time is something we all struggle with. We feel like there's never enough of it, and we use it as a reason not to take action. But here's the thing, time is a resource, just like money or energy. It's something you can manage, control, and prioritize. The truth is, everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. It's not about having more time. It's about how you choose to spend that time. If you're using the excuse of not having enough time, it's likely because you're not prioritizing what truly matters. You can find time for the things you want to do. You can wake up an hour earlier, cut out distractions, and focus on what's important. It's all about making the decision to put in the effort. When you remove the excuse of not having enough time, you'll find that there's more than enough time to accomplish what you set out to do. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect circumstances. It's about taking consistent, focused action, no matter how small the steps may seem. Another excuse that many people use is the idea that they're not ready yet. This is a big one, because it prevents so many people from even starting. We convince ourselves that we don't know enough, that we don't have the skills, or that we need to wait for the perfect opportunity. But here's the truth. You will never be ready in the way that you think you will. The perfect opportunity will never just magically appear. Success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who act. You don't need to be perfect to start. You just need to start. When you take action before you feel ready, you give yourself the chance to learn, grow, and adapt along the way. Every step you take is a step toward becoming the person you need to be to achieve your goals. The more you take action, the more confident and capable you'll become. But if you wait for everything to fall into place before you start, you'll be waiting forever. The key is to take that first step, no matter how uncertain or imperfect it may seem. Action is what leads to results. And results, no matter how small, are what build momentum. One of the most powerful ways to eliminate excuses is to take full responsibility for your life. When you take responsibility, you stop blaming external factors for your circumstances. You stop making excuses about why things aren't working out, and instead you focus on what you can do to change them. You recognize that the power to create your own reality lies within you. When you own your actions, your decisions, and your outcomes, you stop looking for reasons to avoid taking action, and you start finding ways to make things happen. One of the biggest excuses people make is blaming others. We blame our circumstances, our environment, our upbringing, or even the people around us for our lack of success. But the truth is, your past does not determine your future. Your circumstances do not define you. The only thing that matters is what you do from this point forward. You have the power to change your life at any time. The moment you stop blaming others and start taking responsibility, you'll begin to see your life transform. You'll realize that the only thing standing in your way is yourself. At the core of eliminating excuses is the willingness to face discomfort. We often make excuses because we don't want to feel the pain of failure, the frustration of not being good enough, or the uncertainty of trying something new. But discomfort is a necessary part of growth. It's a sign that you're pushing yourself beyond what's comfortable, and that's where real progress happens. The more you embrace discomfort, the more resilient you become. Instead of avoiding challenges, you learn to welcome them because you know that overcoming them will bring you closer to your goals. Another powerful way to remove excuses is to shift your mindset. Many of us have a fixed mindset. We believe that our abilities, our intelligence, and our potential are predetermined, that they can't be changed. But the truth is, our abilities are not set in stone. We have the power to grow, to learn, and to improve. A growth mindset allows you to see challenges as opportunities, mistakes as lessons, and failure as a stepping stone to success. When you adopt a growth mindset, you stop making excuses because you know that every setback is just a chance to improve. In the end, excuses are nothing more than a barrier between where you are now and where you want to be. They may feel valid in the moment, but they are nothing more than a story you tell yourself to avoid doing the hard work. The moment you stop making excuses, you take back control of your life. You take ownership of your actions, and you realize that the only thing standing between you and your goals is your willingness to take action. So remove your excuses, eliminate the stories you tell yourself, stop waiting for the right time. Get up and take action. Now, the only way to truly move forward is by leaving excuses behind and focusing on what you can control, your actions. Number 12. Stay consistent no matter how you feel. Consistency is the backbone of success. It's the one thing that separates those who make their dreams a reality from those who simply talk about them. The world rewards the person who shows up day after day, no matter how they feel. Success doesn't come from bursts of motivation or fleeting inspiration. It comes from sticking with the plan even when things get hard, even when it seems like nothing is happening, and even when you don't feel like it. This is the power of consistency, and it is essential if you want to build something extraordinary. So many people quit when the going gets tough. They start strong, with all the energy and excitement that comes with new beginnings. But as soon as obstacles appear, as soon as they face the reality of hard work, they back off. They wait for the perfect moment, for their energy to match their ambition, for motivation to strike again. But here's the hard truth. Motivation is temporary. It's fleeting. It's unreliable. It comes and goes in waves. And if you rely on it to drive you, you will always be at the mercy of your emotions. But consistency doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't need motivation to keep going. Consistency is simply showing up, no matter what. It's about doing the work, putting in the effort, and staying the course even when things don't feel easy or exciting. It's understanding that real progress happens in the small incremental steps you take every single day, not in the big leaps or breakthroughs that make for a good story. Success is built on the foundation of day in, day out work that adds up over time. It's easy to get distracted by the big picture. It's easy to look at where you want to be and feel overwhelmed by how far you have to go. But success isn't about reaching some distant, shiny destination. It's about the process, the journey, and the commitment to improving just a little bit every day. Every day you show up, every day you make progress. Even if it's only a small step, you're one day closer to your goal. And when you stay consistent, those small steps begin to compound into something far greater than you ever imagined. Of course, staying consistent is not always easy. There are days when you feel tired, unmotivated, or just plain discouraged. There are days when the work seems pointless, when you wonder if it's even worth it. when you want to give up and walk away. Those are the days when consistency is most important. When you feel like quitting, that's when you need to keep going. Those moments of doubt are the testing ground for your discipline and your commitment. This is where mental toughness comes in. It's about pushing through the discomfort, even when your emotions are telling you to stop. It's about recognizing that feelings are temporary, but your actions can create lasting change. The person who succeeds is the one who shows up on the days when they don't feel like it, when the work is hard, and when the results aren't immediate. They understand that success is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And it's the person who stays consistent, even when the going gets tough, who will eventually cross the finish line. When you're building something meaningful, whether it's a business, a skill, a relationship, or personal growth, consistency is your greatest ally. Progress doesn't happen overnight, and there is no magic formula that will make things happen faster or easier. What truly moves the needle is the daily actions, the small commitments, the consistency in showing up, even when the rewards don't seem immediate. Consistency is what ensures you stay on track, no matter the challenges or setbacks that come your way. Another reason consistency is so powerful is because it builds momentum. When you stick to something every day, even when it's difficult, you start to develop a rhythm. You become more efficient, you get better. The work becomes easier, and the results become more noticeable. But this only happens if you keep going. If you stop and start, if you quit and come back when you feel like it, you lose the momentum. It's the compound effect of daily actions that creates exponential results. It's the consistency that eventually leads to mastery, to breakthroughs, and to success. Consistency also creates a sense of discipline in your life. Discipline is the muscle that allows you to stay focused on your long-term goals, instead of giving in to short-term distractions. It's about doing the things you know you need to do, even when you don't feel like doing them. It's easy to get sidetracked by distractions, to procrastinate, and to make excuses. But discipline is what helps you stay on track. Discipline is built through consistent action. The more consistently you do something, the more automatic it becomes, and the less effort it takes to keep doing it. In fact, consistency is one of the best ways to build self-confidence. Every time you keep your promise to yourself, every time you show up and do the work, you reinforce the belief that you are capable, that you can be trusted, and that you can achieve your goals. Self-confidence doesn't come from wishing or hoping. It comes from the small, consistent actions you take to prove to yourself that you can do it. The more consistent you are, the more you build trust in yourself and in your ability to overcome challenges. Consistency also teaches you patience. In a world where we want instant gratification, it's hard to accept that some things take time, but patience is essential for success. Great things are rarely built overnight. They are built through consistent effort, over time, and with the understanding that the results will come when they're supposed to. Trust the process. Stay the course. The more consistent you are, the more patience you develop, and the more you allow yourself to trust that your efforts will pay off. There will be moments of doubt, moments when the road seems long and uncertain. But it's in these moments that you must dig deeper, stay committed, and keep going. Your feelings may tell you to quit, but your commitment to consistency should tell you to keep moving forward. The more you push through those tough moments, the stronger you become, and the closer you get to your goal. Every day you choose consistency. You make a choice to bet on yourself. You choose to believe in your ability to succeed, no matter how you feel. It's not always easy. It requires hard work, discipline, and a deep commitment to the long-term vision. But in the end, it's consistency that will lead you to success. Keep showing up, keep putting in the work, even when it's tough, even when you don't feel like it. Because every day you stay consistent, you're one step closer to the life you've been working toward. And one day, you'll look back and realize that your consistent efforts have created something truly extraordinary. Number 13, train your mind to stay disciplined. It is the internal force that drives you to take consistent action, even when external circumstances don't align with your desires. While motivation can fuel you for a short burst, it is discipline that ensures you follow through day in and day out. Training your mind to stay disciplined is not an overnight process. It is a constant effort to shape your mindset, your habits, and your approach to life. It requires you to tap into your deepest reserves of mental strength, and develop the kind of focus that becomes unwavering, regardless of the obstacles you face. To train your mind to stay disciplined, you first need to understand that discipline isn't about being perfect every single day. It's not about achieving flawless results every time, but about staying committed to your goals, even when things don't go according to plan. Discipline is about recognizing that growth is a long-term process, and it's the small, consistent actions that lead to the greatest rewards. It's the daily decisions you make that either build you up or break you down. And to train your mind to stay disciplined, you must learn to consistently make the decisions that build you up, even when the distractions of life try to pull you in different directions. The first step in training your mind for discipline is to set clear and specific goals. Without clear goals, discipline becomes aimless, and it's easy to get distracted by the chaos of everyday life. Your goals serve as your compass, guiding your decisions, actions, and habits. They give you a sense of purpose and direction, making it easier to stay focused when distractions arise. It's essential to write down your goals and break them into smaller, manageable tasks. When you have a roadmap, it becomes easier to stay disciplined because you know exactly what needs to be done, step by step. Once you have set your goals, the next step is to create a plan of action. A goal without a plan is merely a wish, and wishes don't lead to results. Your plan should be detailed and actionable, outlining the specific steps you need to take to move closer to your goals. Discipline is the ability to stick to the plan, even when it gets tough or when you don't feel like doing it. It's easy to get discouraged when you're working towards something long-term, but by focusing on your plan and taking consistent action, you'll start to see progress, and that progress will fuel your discipline. Discipline is about developing the ability to resist temptation. We live in a world filled with distractions, whether it's social media, television, or the constant pull of instant gratification. These distractions are designed to pull you away from what matters most, and if you give in to them, you'll never achieve the level of success you desire. Training your mind to stay disciplined means recognizing these distractions and learning to say no. It means developing the ability to control your impulses and focus on the task at hand. When you resist the temptation to procrastinate or indulge in distractions, you strengthen your mental fortitude and make progress toward your goals. One of the most powerful tools for building discipline is developing a daily routine. A routine gives structure to your day and ensures that you prioritize your most important tasks. It eliminates the need for decision-making, which can often lead to procrastination. When you have a routine in place, you don't have to think about what to do next. You simply follow the steps that have already been established. Over time, these habits become ingrained in your brain, and discipline becomes second nature. A daily routine eliminates the guesswork and keeps you on track, even when your motivation is low. Along with routine, it's important to practice time management. Time is the most valuable resource you have, and how you spend it will determine your success. To stay disciplined, you must be intentional with your time. Set aside specific blocks of time for your most important tasks, and stick to that schedule as much as possible. It's easy to let time slip away on trivial tasks or distractions, but by being intentional with your time, you train your mind to prioritize what truly matters. When you manage your time effectively, you can accomplish more, and you start to see the results of your discipline. Training your mind to stay disciplined also requires you to embrace discomfort. Discipline isn't about doing what feels good in the moment. It's about doing what's necessary to achieve your long-term goals. There will be days when you feel tired, when you don't want to work, or when it's easier to take the easy route. But those are the days when discipline is most important. You need to push through the discomfort, knowing that the temporary pain of doing the hard work will lead to long-term rewards. The more you embrace discomfort and push through it, the stronger your discipline becomes, and the closer you get to your goals. Another key element of discipline is learning how to bounce back from setbacks. There will be times when things don't go as planned, when you fail, or when you encounter obstacles that seem insurmountable. It's in these moments that your discipline will be tested. But instead of giving up, you must train your mind to stay resilient. Learn from your failures, adjust your approach, and keep moving forward. Setbacks are a natural part of the journey, and they are often the best teachers. When you view setbacks as opportunities to learn and grow, you build the mental toughness that will help you stay disciplined, no matter what. Accountability is another powerful tool for building discipline. When you have someone to answer to, whether it's a coach, a mentor, or a friend, it becomes easier to stay on track. Accountability creates a sense of responsibility, and it pushes you to stay disciplined even when you don't feel like it. It's easy to let yourself down, but it's harder to let someone else down. By involving others in your journey, you create a support system that helps you stay accountable to your goals. Find someone who will hold you accountable and check in with you regularly to ensure that you're staying on track. The power of discipline also lies in the ability to focus on the long-term vision rather than the short-term satisfaction. It's easy to get distracted by immediate rewards or to indulge in things that provide temporary pleasure. But true discipline requires you to delay gratification. You must train your mind to focus on the bigger picture and to resist the temptation of short-term pleasure in favor of long-term success. This may mean saying no to things that feel good in the moment, but it will ultimately lead to a more fulfilling and successful life. One of the most important aspects of discipline is self-control. The ability to control your emotions, impulses, and reactions is crucial to staying disciplined. Emotional reactions can often lead to poor decisions, procrastination, or giving in to distractions. By training your mind to control your emotions and reactions, you develop the mental strength to stay disciplined, even when you're feeling frustrated or overwhelmed. Self-control is the foundation of discipline because it allows you to stay focused on your goals, regardless of how you feel. Discipline is not something you're born with. It's something you develop over time. It requires practice, patience, and perseverance. The more you train your mind to stay disciplined, the easier it becomes and the more natural it feels. It's about building habits, strengthening your mental fortitude, and making the decision every day to stay committed to your goals. Discipline isn't just about doing what's easy. It's about doing what's necessary to achieve success, even when it's hard. At the end of the day, discipline is a choice. You can choose to stay focused, to put in the work, and to make progress every single day. You can choose to train your mind to stay disciplined, no matter how hard it gets. And when you do, you'll find that the rewards are far greater than you ever imagined. Stay disciplined and success will follow. Number 14, eliminate bad habits slowing you down. To truly unlock your potential and reach your goals, you need to eliminate the bad habits that are slowing you down. These habits, often deeply ingrained over time, can feel comfortable and familiar, but they are holding you back from achieving greatness. They may not always be obvious, and in many cases, they can be so subtle that you don't realize how much of a negative impact they're having on your life. But the truth is, if you continue to engage in these habits, you will only keep getting the same results you've been getting. To create a new reality for yourself, you must be willing to identify these habits, confront them, and replace them with actions that will propel you forward. The first step in eliminating bad habits is awareness. You need to take an honest look at your daily routine and your behaviors. What are the things that you consistently do that are not serving you? It's easy to blame external circumstances for your lack of progress, but more often than not, the culprit is your own actions. Bad habits are like invisible anchors that keep you stuck in place. They prevent you from reaching your potential, from making meaningful progress, and from living the life you want. These habits could be anything from procrastination, overindulgence in distractions, poor time management, negative self-talk, or even the inability to take care of your physical health. They can sneak into your life gradually, and without realizing it, they begin to chip away at your success and happiness. The key to eliminating bad habits is to first acknowledge them. It's not enough to merely recognize that something is holding you back. You need to understand how these habits affect your life. Once you become aware of the negative impact, you can start making conscious efforts to change. This is where the power of self-reflection comes in. Ask yourself, what is this habit costing me? How is it affecting my health, my productivity, my relationships, and my overall well-being? When you realize that your bad habits are causing more harm than good, you'll feel the urgency to break free from them. The next step is to replace these bad habits with healthier, more productive ones. Habits are actions that become automatic over time, and just as bad habits were formed, good habits can also be formed. But here's the catch. You won't eliminate bad habits by simply focusing on willpower. It's not enough to simply say, I will stop procrastinating, or I will stop eating junk food. That kind of mindset doesn't lead to lasting change. Instead, you need to replace those bad habits with positive, actionable behaviors that are aligned with your goals. When you replace a bad habit with a good one, you're not just eliminating a negative action, you're also creating space for something that brings you closer to the life you want. Start by focusing on one habit at a time. Trying to change everything at once can overwhelm you and lead to frustration. It's more effective to break down the process into manageable chunks. Identify one habit that you want to change and focus on that. For instance, if you tend to procrastinate on important tasks, instead of telling yourself to stop procrastinating, focus on taking immediate action on small steps towards that task. Set a timer for 10 minutes and work on it without interruption. Once you build this habit of taking small actions, it becomes easier to apply it to other areas of your life. One powerful technique for breaking bad habits is the concept of habit stacking. This involves pairing a new, positive habit with an existing habit that you already do consistently. For example, if you want to start exercising in the morning, but you struggle with getting out of bed, you could stack the new habit of exercise with your existing habit of having a cup of coffee. Every time you make your morning coffee, use that moment as a cue to do a quick workout. By attaching a new habit to something you already do, you make it easier to incorporate the new behavior into your routine. Another important aspect of eliminating bad habits is addressing the underlying triggers that cause them. Often, bad habits are a response to stress, boredom, or emotional discomfort. For example, people might overeat because they're stressed, or they might scroll through social media for hours to avoid dealing with unpleasant emotions. If you can identify the triggers that lead to these habits, you can take steps to eliminate or avoid those triggers. If stress is a trigger for overeating, you might choose to practice stress management techniques like deep breathing, meditation, or journaling, instead of turning to food. If boredom leads to excessive screen time, you could replace mindless scrolling with a hobby or activity that provides real fulfillment. Accountability is another powerful tool in eliminating bad habits. When you hold yourself accountable, you're more likely to stay committed to your goal of change. You can share your progress with a friend, family member, or coach who will support you along the way. This accountability partner will help you stay on track when the urge to slip back into your old habits arises. Knowing that someone else is watching your progress can serve as a motivating factor to stay consistent and make better choices. When you share your goals with others, you also open yourself up to receiving feedback and advice that can help you stay on course. Positive reinforcement plays a key role in breaking bad habits. We often associate our bad habits with temporary rewards, such as the fleeting pleasure of eating junk food or the satisfaction of avoiding a difficult task. However, these rewards are short-lived and ultimately unsatisfying. To counteract this, it's important to reward yourself for making progress toward your goals. Celebrate your victories, no matter how small they may seem. When you acknowledge your efforts, you create a sense of accomplishment that reinforces your positive behavior and motivates you to keep going. These small celebrations will help you build momentum and strengthen your resolve to eliminate bad habits for good. Breaking bad habits is not always a linear process. There will be setbacks, and there will be moments of weakness where you might fall back into old patterns. But that doesn't mean you've failed. It simply means that you're human, and breaking habits takes time and persistence. The key is to keep going, even when you slip up. Don't let one mistake derail your entire journey. Instead, use setbacks as learning opportunities. Reflect on what went wrong and make adjustments for the future. Every time you get back up and try again, you're strengthening your mental resilience and moving one step closer to eliminating the habits that are holding you back. Finally, it's essential to maintain a long-term perspective when it comes to breaking bad habits. Change doesn't happen overnight, and it won't always be easy. There will be days when you feel like giving up, but if you keep your eyes on the bigger picture, the person you are becoming, the goals you're achieving, and the life you're creating, you will find the strength to keep going. The process of eliminating bad habits is about transformation. It's about growing into a better version of yourself and cultivating a mindset that prioritizes progress over comfort. Remember, the habits you choose to engage in today will shape your future. If you continue to engage in habits that hold you back, you'll find yourself stuck in the same patterns year after year. But when you make the conscious decision to eliminate the habits that slow you down, you unlock the door to your full potential. Stay committed to the process, replace your bad habits with better ones, and watch as your life transforms into the success and fulfillment you've always desired. It's time to take control, eliminate the bad habits, and start living the life you deserve. Number 15. Plan your day and stick to it. Planning your day is the cornerstone of productivity, and sticking to that plan is what ultimately determines whether you'll succeed or fall short of your goals. If you want to take control of your life and create the success you desire, it all begins with planning and executing your day with intention. It's easy to get caught up in distractions, lost in the whirlwind of daily life. But when you have a clear plan, you have the power to navigate the chaos and stay on course. The process of planning your day starts the night before. Every successful person, from entrepreneurs to athletes to high achievers in every field, understands the power of preparing in advance. The night before, take a few minutes to set your intentions for the next day. This practice eliminates decision fatigue and sets your mind up for success as soon as you wake up. When you plan ahead, your brain is already primed to focus on what's important and avoid the mental clutter that can often lead to wasted time. As you prepare for the day ahead, prioritize your tasks based on importance and urgency. Identify the top 3 to 5 things you absolutely need to get done. These are the tasks that will move you closer to your long-term goals. Whether it's a work project, personal goal, or anything that demands your attention, these tasks should take precedence. Don't get caught up in the smaller, less important things that will ultimately serve as distractions. Focus on what truly matters and give those tasks the energy and attention they deserve. When you tackle the most important tasks first, you're setting yourself up for success, as you'll have already made significant progress before the day starts to get away from you. One powerful technique for staying on track is time blocking. This is the practice of allocating specific blocks of time throughout your day to work on specific tasks or projects. By structuring your day into distinct segments, you create a clear path for your time. For example, you might block off 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. to work on a project, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. for meetings, and 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. for focused deep work. The key to time blocking is discipline. Once you set the blocks, stick to them as if they were appointments that can't be rescheduled. This eliminates the temptation to bounce between tasks, preventing distractions from hijacking your day. Time blocking helps you remain focused and ensures that your most important tasks don't get lost in the shuffle of less significant tasks. As you're planning your day, it's essential to build in breaks. Many people make the mistake of overloading their schedules without accounting for the need to rest and recharge. Burnout doesn't happen overnight. It's a result of consistent, unmanaged effort without recovery. When you plan your day, schedule short breaks in between tasks, as well as a longer break for lunch. These breaks not only allow you to refresh and refuel, but also help you maintain focus and energy throughout the day. A well-rested mind is far more effective than one that is overworked and exhausted. Even a 5-minute stretch or a brief walk can make all the difference in keeping your energy levels high and your mind clear. Planning your day isn't just about filling up the hours with tasks. It's about creating a balanced approach that fosters productivity while also protecting your well-being. This means making time for the things that bring you joy, peace, and relaxation. When you plan your day, make sure you're not just scheduling work or obligations. Carve out time for self-care, hobbies, and activities that recharge you mentally and physically. This is what helps you avoid burnout and ensures that you stay motivated over the long term. If you neglect this aspect of your plan, you'll eventually run out of steam. A well-rounded day with time for both work and relaxation is key to sustainable success. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, unexpected events and distractions can derail our plans. This is where adaptability and flexibility come into play. While it's important to stick to your plan, you must also recognize that life is unpredictable. There will be times when things don't go according to plan. It's essential to remain adaptable and adjust as needed. If something urgent comes up, assess the situation and adjust your schedule accordingly. This is not an excuse to abandon your plan, but rather an opportunity to pivot and adapt while staying focused on your overall goals. The key is not to let one disruption throw off your entire day. Stay grounded and keep your eyes on your priorities. One of the most powerful reasons to plan your day is that it helps you stay consistent. Consistency is the backbone of success. It's not about doing everything perfectly every single day, but rather about showing up every day, committed to taking the next step forward. A daily plan creates structure and helps you stay consistent, even when motivation wanes. When your day is planned, you have a roadmap to follow, and even on the toughest days, you can lean on that plan to keep moving forward. This is what separates those who succeed from those who fail. They are consistent, even when things get tough. A big part of planning your day is understanding the importance of setting boundaries. Without boundaries, you can easily become overwhelmed by external demands on your time. The people and things around you can pull you in all directions, but when you have a clear plan for your day, you can set limits on how much time and energy you give to each thing. Say no when you need to, and protect your time fiercely. This is especially important for high achievers who often find themselves stretched too thin by competing priorities. If you want to stay focused and get things done, you need to be intentional about where you direct your energy. When you've set your boundaries, you'll have the space to be more productive and more present in everything you do. Another reason why planning your day is so critical is because it helps you track your progress. When you take the time to plan and stick to it, you'll start seeing how much you've accomplished by the end of the day. Tracking your progress not only boosts your confidence, but also provides a sense of accomplishment that motivates you to continue. When you can look back at your day and see that you've followed through on your plan, you'll feel a sense of pride. This in turn reinforces the habit of planning and sticking to your goals. Over time, this small practice compounds and leads to bigger and bigger successes. Lastly, sticking to your plan is about cultivating a sense of responsibility and ownership. Your success or failure is in your hands, and it all comes down to your commitment to the daily process. There's no one else who can plan your day for you, and no one else who can take action on your behalf. When you take full responsibility for how you spend your time, you empower yourself to create the life you want. If you let distractions, procrastination, or external forces derail you, you're relinquishing control over your destiny. When you stick to your plan, you're asserting your control and demonstrating discipline, which is the key to long-term success. Planning your day isn't just a strategy, it's a mindset. It's about approaching each day with intention, discipline, and focus. It's about making the most of every moment, staying aligned with your goals, and being consistent, no matter how you feel. The most successful people in the world don't simply drift through their days. They plan, execute, and course correct when needed. If you want to live a life of purpose and achieve your goals, start with this simple but powerful habit. Plan your day and stick to it. When you do, you'll find yourself achieving more than you ever thought possible, one day at a time. Number 16, stay hungry and never get comfortable. Success is not a destination. It's a journey that demands constant effort, relentless pursuit, and an insatiable hunger to keep growing, learning, and striving for more. The moment you become complacent, the moment you allow yourself to settle into comfort, you begin to lose ground. Comfort can be a silent killer of ambition. It lulls you into a state of satisfaction that blinds you to the opportunities that still lie ahead. The key to continuous growth and success lies in staying hungry, pushing beyond what you think is possible, and never allowing yourself to become comfortable with mediocrity. Being hungry isn't just about wanting more. It's about understanding that there is always room for improvement. No matter how far you've come, there's always another level. Success is not finite. There's no final destination, no point at which you can say, "I've made it." Once you get comfortable, you stop looking for new ways to grow. You stop innovating, stop pushing boundaries, and stop evolving. Success requires constant movement. It requires you to keep striving, keep pushing, and never allow yourself to fall into a state of complacency. It's about keeping your ambition alive and staying focused on the next step, no matter how much you've already accomplished. The hunger for success fuels innovation. Those who are hungry for more constantly challenge the status quo, looking for new ways to improve, new opportunities to seize, and new challenges to face. Hunger is what drives you to think creatively, to find solutions where others see problems, and to take risks that others avoid. The comfortable ones are the ones who wait for opportunities to come to them. The hungry ones go out and create their own opportunities. They understand that nothing is handed to you. If you want something, you have to go after it with everything you've got. When you stay hungry, you maintain a mindset of growth. Growth is not a linear process. It's not about taking one step and then staying stagnant. True growth happens when you challenge yourself to take bigger, bolder steps, even when it feels uncomfortable. It's easy to get complacent when you've reached a certain level of success, but real progress happens outside of your comfort zone. Growth requires you to embrace discomfort, to take on challenges that seem daunting, and to push yourself to your limits. Comfort, on the other hand, encourages you to stay where you are, to stay safe, and to avoid anything that might stretch you beyond your current capabilities. People who stay hungry know that failure is not a setback. It's part of the process. Every failure is a lesson, a stepping stone on the path to success. The ones who become comfortable are the ones who fear failure, who avoid taking risks because they don't want to get hurt. But success doesn't come without setbacks. It's in the struggle, in the fight, where you grow. When you are hungry for success, you embrace failure as part of the journey. You don't fear it, you learn from it. Each mistake, each failure, is a piece of the puzzle that leads you closer to where you want to be. Without that hunger to continue, despite the failures, you would never have the perseverance to keep going. Staying hungry also means that you never stop learning. Comfort creates stagnation, while hunger for success compels you to seek knowledge continuously. The most successful people in the world are those who never stop learning, no matter how much they already know. Whether it's gaining new skills, reading new books, attending seminars, or seeking out new experiences, the hunger for knowledge is a driving force that keeps them on top. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing. And the moment you stop growing, you begin to fall behind. This is why it's essential to stay hungry, not just for success, but for knowledge, for experience, and for new ways to improve. Your drive for success can be fueled by the constant reminder that there is always more to achieve. Whether it's hitting the next milestone in your career, setting personal goals, or striving to improve your health and relationships, staying hungry means you're never satisfied with where you are. You constantly aim higher, set more ambitious goals, and challenge yourself to reach new heights. The hungry never settle for good enough. They know that there is always more to strive for, always more to accomplish, and they are willing to put in the work to get there. Staying hungry also means surrounding yourself with people who inspire and challenge you. Comfort zones are often filled with people who reinforce the status quo, who are satisfied with what they have, and who don't push you to go further. The hungry ones, on the other hand, seek out those who will elevate them, who will push them beyond their limits, and who will hold them accountable to their highest potential. You need to seek out individuals who will challenge you, who will keep you hungry, and who will remind you that you can always do better. If you're surrounding yourself with people who aren't striving for more, you're more likely to settle for less. Another key aspect of staying hungry is developing resilience. Life will throw obstacles your way, but those who stay hungry don't let adversity knock them off track. They face challenges head on, knowing that they are simply part of the process. The road to success is not a smooth, straight path. It's filled with bumps, turns, and unexpected detours. But when you are hungry, you understand that these challenges are opportunities in disguise. They are chances for you to prove your strength, to push through the hard times, and to emerge stronger than ever before. Resilience is the quality that keeps you moving forward when things get tough. Without resilience, you can easily become discouraged, lose sight of your goals, and give up. But hunger fuels your resilience, and resilience keeps you going when you feel like quitting. It's also important to recognize that being hungry doesn't mean rushing or acting out of desperation. It's not about chasing success blindly or pushing yourself to the point of burnout. It's about being intentional, about taking consistent, focused action toward your goals. Staying hungry means being passionate about what you do, but also being patient with the process. You understand that success takes time and requires consistent effort. You keep your eyes on the long-term vision while putting in the work every single day. This balance between hunger and patience is what leads to sustained success. Another powerful aspect of staying hungry is the ability to embrace change. The world is constantly evolving, and those who are comfortable are often left behind when the landscape shifts. When you are hungry for success, you are constantly adapting to new challenges, new technologies, and new opportunities. You are never static. You recognize that change is inevitable, and you embrace it as part of the journey. Those who stay hungry are not afraid of change. They welcome it, knowing that it will bring new opportunities for growth and success. They understand that in order to stay ahead, they must remain agile, open-minded, and willing to adapt. The hunger to succeed also leads to an unmatched work ethic. It's not just about being driven. It's about showing up every day and putting in the effort, even when it's hard. It's about making the sacrifices necessary to achieve your goals, whether it's waking up early, staying up late, or putting in extra hours. Those who are hungry are willing to outwork everyone else because they understand that success doesn't come without effort. The comfortable ones are the ones who are willing to take shortcuts, to skip the hard work, and to rely on luck. But luck has nothing to do with success. Success is the result of hard work, dedication, and an unwavering commitment to your goals. When you stay hungry, you are willing to outwork your competition, no matter how tough the road ahead may seem. Staying hungry is the difference between those who achieve great things and those who merely dream of them. It's the fire that keeps you moving forward, even when obstacles arise. It's the reason you wake up every morning with purpose, ready to tackle whatever comes your way. The moment you stop being hungry, you stop progressing, you become stagnant, and your dreams start to slip away. But if you stay hungry, if you keep pushing forward with determination, you will continue to grow, evolve, and achieve greater things than you ever imagined. Hunger for success is the key to unlocking your true potential, and it will keep you moving forward on the path to greatness. Never let comfort lull you into complacency. Stay hungry, stay focused, and never stop striving for more. Number 17. Keep moving forward even when it's hard. Life is a relentless journey, filled with both highs and lows, victories and setbacks. There will be moments when everything seems to be falling apart. The weight of adversity might feel overwhelming, and the path ahead might appear impossible. But in those moments, the true measure of your strength is not in how easy things are, but in how you keep moving forward despite the challenges. It's in your determination to push through, to rise above, and to keep striving for your goals, even when everything feels like it's working against you. Progress doesn't come without difficulty. If it were easy, everyone would succeed. But it's the difficulty, the hardship, that separates those who make it from those who quit. The ability to keep moving forward, especially when it's hard, is a hallmark of resilience and a trait that successful people understand intimately. No matter what happens, no matter how much you might stumble, the most important thing is to keep taking steps, to keep moving forward, and to refuse to let life's obstacles define you. When things get tough, it's easy to want to stop. You feel like giving up. The road ahead looks too long, too steep, and too uncertain. But in those moments, you must remind yourself that the journey is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And in a marathon, the key to success isn't about speed or perfection. It's about persistence. It's about continuing to move forward, one step at a time, even when every fiber of your being wants to quit. Success isn't reserved for the ones who never face challenges. It's for those who refuse to stop, no matter how hard it gets. When you keep moving forward, you're not only making progress, you're also building resilience. Resilience is your ability to withstand hardship and come back stronger. It's your capacity to keep moving forward, even when life hits you hard. Every time you face a challenge and continue to push forward, you strengthen your resilience. And resilience is what will carry you through the toughest times, ensuring that you never give up, no matter how many setbacks you encounter. The key to making it through hard times is perspective. When you're in the thick of a struggle, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. You focus on the pain, the frustration, and the uncertainty of the present moment. But the truth is that every struggle you face is an opportunity for growth. Every challenge is a chance to become stronger, wiser, and more capable. The struggle isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace. It's the crucible in which your true potential is forged. And the more you keep moving forward, the more you allow yourself to grow and transform through adversity. You don't need to have all the answers right away. You don't need to see the end result. Sometimes all you need to do is take the next step. It's easy to get overwhelmed when you look at the mountain in front of you. But remember that no mountain is climbed all at once. You can only take it one step at a time. It's those small, consistent steps that will ultimately lead you to the top. Even when things are hard, if you keep putting one foot in front of the other, you'll find yourself moving closer to your goal, even if you can't see it yet. There's power in perseverance. When you keep moving forward, you're training your mind to stay focused, determined, and committed to your vision. It's easy to be motivated when things are going well, but it's when life gets difficult that true character is revealed. The ones who rise above adversity are the ones who refuse to quit when it seems like all hope is lost. They understand that hardship is not the end of the road, but simply a detour on the way to their destination. Every time you face a challenge and decide to keep going, you're proving to yourself that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. You're showing yourself that you have the strength, the resilience, and the tenacity to overcome obstacles. The more you push through difficult times, the more you realize that you are stronger than you thought. And with each victory, no matter how small, you gain more confidence in your ability to handle whatever life throws at you. It's also important to recognize that moving forward doesn't always mean making huge leaps. Sometimes it's about making small, incremental progress. It's about doing what you can with what you have, even when the situation isn't ideal. The important thing is to keep moving, to keep making progress, even if it's just a little bit at a time. These small steps add up over time, and eventually they lead to big results. Success isn't about taking giant, immediate leaps. It's about the consistent effort you put in day after day, especially when things are tough. Another crucial aspect of moving forward during hard times is the power of self-talk. Your thoughts have a powerful impact on your ability to persevere. When things get difficult, it's easy to fall into negative thinking. You start doubting yourself, questioning your abilities, and wondering if you're even capable of overcoming the obstacles in your path. But the way you talk to yourself during these moments will determine how you handle adversity. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," choose to say, "I will keep going. I will find a way." The way you speak to yourself shapes your reality, and when you choose to speak words of encouragement, strength, and resilience, you strengthen your resolve and increase your chances of success. One of the most important lessons in life is that adversity is not a reflection of your worth. Just because things are hard doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're learning. Every challenge, every setback is an opportunity for growth. The road to success is never a straight line. It's full of twists, turns, and obstacles. But it's the ones who keep moving forward, even when it feels impossible, who eventually reach the destination. The ones who give up along the way will never know how close they were to success. You never know what breakthrough is just around the corner, which is why it's crucial to keep going. It's also important to surround yourself with the right support system. There will be times when you'll feel like you can't keep going. You'll feel tired, discouraged, and ready to throw in the towel. But in those moments, the people around you can make all the difference. Find those who will lift you up, who will remind you of your strength and potential. Whether it's family, friends, or a mentor, having the right people in your corner can provide the encouragement and motivation you need to keep moving forward. No matter how tough things get, remember that every hardship is temporary. The struggles you face today will not last forever. What will last, however, is your ability to persevere. Your ability to keep moving forward, to keep striving for your goals, despite the obstacles, will determine your ultimate success. When you look back, you won't remember the struggles themselves, but the strength you showed in overcoming them. You will remember the person you became in the process, the person who refused to quit, the person who kept moving forward, no matter what. The road may be hard, and the journey may be long, but if you keep moving forward, you will find the strength within you to reach your destination. Keep going even when it's tough. Keep moving forward, even when you feel like giving up. Because success belongs to those who refuse to quit, those who keep going, even when everything seems impossible. You have the power to overcome any obstacle and to keep moving toward the life you desire. The only thing that can stop you is your decision to stop moving forward. So keep going and trust that every step you take brings you closer to your goals. Number 18. Master your emotions and stay in control. In a world full of distractions, challenges, and unexpected moments, mastering your emotions is one of the most valuable skills you can develop. Emotions are powerful forces, shaping how we perceive the world and how we react to every situation. They can propel us to greatness or hold us back in the darkest of times. But here's the truth. Emotions are not something to be feared or suppressed. They are an integral part of being human. The key is learning to control them, to channel them in ways that serve you rather than hinder your progress. Imagine a life where you are in complete control of how you react to every circumstance. A life where no matter how tough things get or how chaotic the world around you becomes, you remain steady, calm, and focused. This is the power of emotional mastery. It is not about eliminating emotions, but about understanding them, regulating them, and using them to your advantage. When you can do this, you unlock a level of strength and clarity that allows you to navigate life's ups and downs with unwavering composure. The first step to mastering your emotions is awareness. You cannot control what you do not acknowledge. So the next time you feel anger rising or frustration building, take a moment to pause and recognize what's happening. Instead of reacting impulsively, take a deep breath and observe your feelings. Where are they coming from? What triggered them? By becoming aware of your emotional state, you take the first step toward controlling it. Without awareness, emotions control you. With awareness, you take back your power. But awareness alone is not enough. You must develop the ability to pause before reacting. When emotions surge, the instinct is often to react immediately, to express what we're feeling in the heat of the moment. But this is where many people make their biggest mistakes. They let their emotions dictate their actions, and in doing so, they may say or do things they regret. To master your emotions, you must learn the power of the pause. When something happens that triggers an emotional response, don't immediately act. Pause. Take a deep breath. Step back. Allow yourself a moment of space to process the emotion before deciding how to respond. This pause doesn't mean you're weak or indecisive. It means you are in control of yourself. Emotional control is about developing the ability to choose how you respond, no matter what life throws your way. You are not at the mercy of your emotions. You are the one who decides what role they play in your life. For example, when someone cuts you off in traffic, your immediate instinct might be to feel anger or frustration. But instead of reacting with road rage or an angry outburst, you can choose to let it go. You can choose to stay calm, to realize that the other driver's actions do not define your peace of mind. This is mastery, choosing to stay in control, even when external circumstances try to provoke you. One of the most challenging emotions to control is fear. Fear has a way of creeping into our lives, limiting our actions and holding us back from achieving our full potential. Whether it's fear of failure, fear of rejection, or fear of the unknown, it can paralyze us and prevent us from moving forward. But here's the truth. Fear is natural. Everyone experiences it at some point. What matters is how we handle it. When fear arises, instead of allowing it to control you, use it as a tool for growth. Fear can be a sign that you're stepping outside your comfort zone, that you're on the verge of something great. Rather than letting fear stop you, let it propel you. Use it as a signal that you are about to take a leap. Challenge yourself and expand your boundaries. Mastering your emotions means acknowledging fear, but not letting it hold you back from pursuing your dreams. Another powerful emotion to master is stress. Stress is inevitable in today's fast-paced world, but the key is learning to manage it, rather than letting it overwhelm you. When you're feeling stressed, your body goes into fight or flight mode, and your ability to think clearly and make rational decisions diminishes. This is where emotional mastery comes in. When you feel stress creeping in, take a step back. Take a deep breath. Practice mindfulness. Focus on the present moment instead of worrying about the past or future. By training yourself to remain calm in stressful situations, you enhance your ability to think clearly, make better decisions, and stay focused on the task at hand. Stress will always be a part of life, but by mastering your emotional response to it, you can prevent it from taking over. Sadness and disappointment are also emotions that can be difficult to manage, especially when things don't go as planned. These emotions are part of life, and it's okay to feel them. What's important is not letting them define your entire mindset. When you feel sad or disappointed, it's essential to allow yourself to process the emotion, but not to dwell on it. Allow yourself the space to feel the emotion, but then choose to refocus on what's next. Don't let the past dictate your future. Let go of the disappointment and remind yourself that setbacks are often just setups for comebacks. It's how you respond to these emotions that shapes your future. You can choose to see challenges as opportunities for growth and learning, rather than as permanent roadblocks. When you're able to master your emotions, you also develop a deeper sense of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize understand, and manage both your own emotions and the emotions of others. This skill is invaluable in both personal and professional life. It allows you to communicate effectively, resolve conflicts, and build stronger relationships. When you understand your own emotions, you can relate better to others and respond with empathy and understanding. This leads to healthier, more positive interactions and a greater sense of connection with the people around you. Self-discipline is another key aspect of emotional mastery. The more disciplined you are in managing your emotions, the more control you have over your reactions. Discipline involves training your mind to focus on your goals, your vision, and your values, rather than letting temporary emotions sway you. It means choosing long-term benefits over short-term gratification. For example, you may feel the urge to react angrily in a situation, but your self-discipline allows you to pause, reflect, and choose a more constructive response. This kind of emotional control requires constant practice, but the rewards are worth it. When you master your emotions, you become a stronger, more resilient individual who can face any challenge with poise and grace. The ultimate goal of mastering your emotions is to create a life of balance. Emotions, when controlled, can be a source of power. When you're not constantly reacting to your emotions, you free up mental space to focus on what truly matters. You can make decisions based on logic and reason, not on impulse or external pressures. You can stay calm in the face of chaos, keep moving forward in times of adversity, and enjoy deeper connections with others. Emotional mastery isn't about suppressing your feelings or pretending to be invincible. It's about acknowledging your emotions, understanding them, and choosing how to respond in a way that aligns with your true goals and values. To master your emotions, commit to continuous practice. Emotions are like muscles. The more you exercise them, the stronger they become. Practice mindfulness, practice patience, and practice self-reflection. The more you master your emotions, the more you'll find that you are the master of your life. You'll be able to face challenges with a calm mind, clear purpose, and unwavering determination. And in doing so, you'll unlock the full potential of your inner strength. Number 19. Stop complaining and start making progress. Complaining is a habit that sneaks into our daily lives, often unnoticed, yet it holds us back in ways we don't fully realize. It is the constant focus on what's wrong, the energy wasted on things we can't control, and the perpetual cycle of negativity that keeps us stuck. But here's the hard truth. Complaining doesn't change anything. It doesn't solve problems. It doesn't move us closer to our goals. In fact, complaining only serves to drain us and keeps us from making progress. If you want to achieve something extraordinary in life, it's time to stop complaining and start making real, meaningful progress. The first step in this transformation is taking full responsibility for your situation. It's easy to point fingers and blame others for your struggles. It's easy to say, if only my boss would treat me better, or if only the economy wasn't so bad, or if only people would understand my situation. The problem with this mindset is that it places the power outside of yourself. It makes you a victim of circumstances. But you are not a victim. You have the power to change your situation. You have the ability to make progress, no matter the obstacles in your way. Every time you find yourself about to complain, pause and ask yourself, what can I do to improve this situation? What actions can I take to move closer to my goals? Complaining doesn't bring solutions. It just reinforces the problem. Progress, on the other hand, comes from taking consistent, focused action. It comes from choosing to move forward, even when the path is unclear or difficult. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, focus on what you can do to make it better. Every small step you take, no matter how insignificant it may seem, is a step toward progress. One of the reasons we complain so much is that we want to feel heard, understood, or validated. Complaints are often a way of expressing our dissatisfaction and seeking sympathy or support from others. But seeking validation through complaints only reinforces feelings of helplessness. It keeps us stuck in a cycle of negativity. The real power lies in shifting our focus away from external validation and instead looking inward. Ask yourself, what can I do for myself today to make my situation better? How can I take responsibility for my progress, rather than relying on others to change my circumstances? It's also important to recognize that every complaint we voice takes away energy that could otherwise be directed toward progress. Complaining is a mental drain. It keeps us stuck in a state of frustration, and that frustration prevents us from seeing solutions or opportunities. Progress, on the other hand, thrives on clarity and focus. When you stop complaining, you free up mental space that can be used to strategize, problem solve, and take action. This shift in focus from complaining to doing is where the real change begins. You might argue that there are legitimate reasons to complain. Life is challenging, and it's normal to feel frustrated or upset when things aren't going as planned. But here's the key: it's not the challenges that define us, it's how we respond to them. It's easy to let a setback consume us. It's easy to let frustration turn into a complaint. But the real test of character lies in our ability to rise above those challenges, to refuse to be defeated by them, and to keep moving forward. Progress isn't about avoiding difficulties. It's about pushing through them, no matter how hard it gets. Complaining only keeps you stuck in the problem, but action propels you forward. So how do you make the shift from complaining to making progress? The first step is awareness. Start paying attention to the moments when you feel the urge to complain. Notice the thoughts that trigger your complaints. Are you blaming others? Are you focusing on what's wrong instead of what's right? Once you become aware of these patterns, you can begin to challenge them. The next time you catch yourself complaining, ask yourself, what can I do right now to improve this situation? Even if it's a small action, take that first step. It could be something as simple as making a phone call, writing down a goal, or deciding to learn something new. The key is to move away from the mental energy spent on complaining and redirect it towards solutions. Another important step is developing a mindset of gratitude. It's easy to get caught up in what's wrong, but when you shift your focus to what's right, everything changes. Start each day by reminding yourself of what you're grateful for. This simple practice can shift your perspective and help you see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. Gratitude opens the door to progress because it trains your mind to focus on abundance rather than scarcity. When you are grateful for what you have, you stop wasting energy on complaints and instead focus on building upon what you've already accomplished. Moreover, progress doesn't happen overnight, and that's okay. The journey to success is a series of small steps, often taken in the face of adversity. Understand that it's not about perfection. It's about consistency. Every day is an opportunity to move one step closer to your goals. The key is to keep showing up, even when you don't feel like it. Don't let setbacks or challenges stop you. Instead of complaining about the obstacles, focus on how you can navigate them. How can you adapt? How can you learn from these challenges to become better, stronger, and more capable? Remember that progress is often invisible in the short term. It's easy to become discouraged when you don't see immediate results, but progress is happening even when it feels like nothing is changing. Every effort, no matter how small, is adding up. Think of it like planting seeds. You may not see the fruits of your labor right away, but over time, with patience and consistent effort, those seeds will grow into something incredible. A critical part of this process is developing the ability to stay focused on your goals. Complaining takes you off track. It distracts you from the things that truly matter. It pulls your attention away from what you can control and places it on what you can't. But when you focus on your goals and keep your energy directed toward progress, you remain in control. You can push through challenges, overcome obstacles, and create the life you desire. The path to success is not always easy, but it's always worth it. Complaints won't get you there. Progress will. Now let's address a common misconception, that making progress means always being in action. While taking action is crucial, progress also requires reflection and learning. Complaining can often be a result of not taking the time to understand what's happening or why things aren't working. So take a step back from time to time and evaluate your situation. What lessons can you learn from your challenges? What strategies can you implement to improve? Progress doesn't always look like constant motion. Sometimes it's about taking a step back, assessing, and making a smarter move. Complaining keeps you in the same place, while reflection allows you to learn and grow. As you move forward on your journey, remember that progress is not a linear path. There will be setbacks, bumps in the road, and moments of doubt, but these are all part of the process. It's not about avoiding obstacles. It's about learning to navigate them with resilience and determination. Every time you face a challenge, remind yourself that it's an opportunity to grow, to improve, and to move closer to your goals. Stop complaining about the difficulties and start embracing them as opportunities to strengthen your character and build the life you desire. In conclusion, the power to change your life lies within you. Complaining is a habit that only serves to hold you back. To make real progress, you must shift your focus from what's wrong to what you can do to improve your situation. Take responsibility for your circumstances. Develop a mindset of gratitude and commit to consistent action. Understand that progress doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't always look like you expect. But every step you take, no matter how small, is moving you closer to your goals. So stop complaining, take control of your life, and start making progress today. The journey may be tough, but it will always be worth it. Number 20. Hold yourself accountable every single day. Accountability is the secret ingredient to success. It is the bridge that connects your goals to the actions required to achieve them. Without accountability, the journey to success becomes a guessing game, full of distractions, excuses, and stagnation. But when you hold yourself accountable every single day, the road to achieving your dreams becomes clear, focused, and purposeful. Accountability is not a one-time commitment. It is an ongoing process, a constant reminder that the responsibility for your success lies within you, and only you can drive your own progress. Holding yourself accountable means taking ownership of your actions, your choices, and the consequences they bring. It is about being honest with yourself, acknowledging where you fall short, and making a conscious decision to do better the next time. The key to true personal growth is not in avoiding mistakes, but in learning from them, owning them, and adjusting your course. Accountability is the process of checking in with yourself every day and asking, am I doing what I said I would do? Am I moving closer to my goals? It's all too easy to let days slip by without truly evaluating whether we're on the right track. The reality is, most people go through life without ever holding themselves accountable. They get distracted by the noise of the world, distracted by the comforts and conveniences that feel good in the moment, but take them farther from their long-term goals. They justify their inaction with excuses, blaming external circumstances or other people for their lack of progress. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not talent, intelligence, or luck. The difference is accountability. It's the discipline to hold yourself responsible for every decision, every action, and every outcome, day in and day out. The truth is, holding yourself accountable isn't always easy. It requires discipline, focus, and the willingness to face uncomfortable truths. It's far easier to blame external factors or fall into the trap of self-pity when things aren't going the way you want. But the moment you begin to take full responsibility for your actions, you shift from a passive role in your life to an active one. You take control of your destiny, and that's where the magic begins. Accountability is the moment when you stop making excuses and start making progress. When you hold yourself accountable, you make a promise to yourself and your future that you will not let the days pass without taking deliberate steps toward your dreams. You make a commitment that you won't wait for the perfect moment, the right opportunity, or for someone else to push you. You take full ownership of your life, recognizing that the only way to achieve your goals is by putting in the work every single day. There will be moments when it's difficult. There will be times when you want to give up or take shortcuts. But the real power lies in showing up, even when you don't feel like it, even when the road is tough, even when the results aren't immediate. You keep moving forward. Holding yourself accountable isn't just about tracking your progress. It's about being completely honest with yourself. It's easy to say, I'm doing my best, but are you really? Are you pushing yourself to the limits? Are you doing everything you possibly can to ensure you're heading in the right direction? Being accountable means getting real with yourself, recognizing when you're slacking off, and making the necessary changes to get back on track. It's also about setting clear, measurable goals and creating a system to monitor your progress. Without a system in place, it's easy to lose sight of your goals. You might tell yourself, I'll start working on that tomorrow, or I'll catch up next week. But tomorrow never comes. By setting clear goals and creating a daily routine that holds you accountable, you make sure that you are consistently moving forward. Whether it's writing down your goals each day, tracking your progress, or setting up regular check-ins with yourself. Creating a structure around accountability helps you stay focused and committed. You can't expect to hold yourself accountable if you don't have a plan to follow. Having a plan gives you direction, clarity, and purpose. It tells you exactly what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, and when it needs to be done. A plan allows you to measure your progress, identify obstacles, and make adjustments when necessary. Without a plan, accountability becomes meaningless because you have nothing to hold yourself accountable to. But it's not just about having a plan and following through. It's about resilience in the face of setbacks. When life throws challenges your way, it's easy to get discouraged. It's easy to tell yourself, maybe I'm not cut out for this, or it's just too hard. But accountability means standing up after every setback and continuing to push forward. You will face challenges. You will face failure. But if you can stay accountable to yourself, you will get back up and keep moving forward. Every setback is an opportunity to grow stronger, learn from your mistakes, and refine your approach. The key is not to let failure define you, but to use it as fuel to keep going. Sometimes holding yourself accountable means setting boundaries. It's about protecting your time and energy from distractions, from the negative influences that try to pull you off course. If you want to be successful, you have to be ruthless about where you invest your time. Accountability means saying no to the things that don't align with your goals, and yes to the actions that bring you closer to your dreams. It's about staying disciplined enough to say no to distractions, even when they are tempting, and focusing on the work that matters most. One of the greatest obstacles to holding yourself accountable is the fear of failure. Many people are afraid to take action because they're afraid of making mistakes, of not being good enough, or of falling short. But the truth is, failure is not something to fear. Failure is a necessary part of growth. It's the feedback that tells you where you need to improve and what you need to change. If you want to achieve something great, you have to embrace failure. You have to use it as motivation to keep going. When you hold yourself accountable, you are accepting that failure is part of the journey and that it will not stop you. Accountability means moving forward despite the fear, knowing that failure is not the end, but a step towards success. Another key element of accountability is consistency. It's not about doing the right things for a day or a week. It's about doing them every day, no matter how small the action may seem. Success doesn't come from sporadic bursts of effort. It comes from consistent, deliberate action. Accountability means showing up every day, doing the work, and trusting that the results will follow. Even on the days when you don't feel motivated, even when you're tired or discouraged, accountability means pushing through and continuing to take action. Accountability is also about learning to trust yourself. The more you hold yourself accountable, the more confidence you build in your own abilities. When you set a goal and follow through with it, you prove to yourself that you are capable of achieving great things. This trust in yourself becomes the foundation of your success. The more you prove to yourself that you can be trusted to do the work, the more you will trust yourself to reach your highest potential. There's a powerful cycle that begins when you hold yourself accountable. The more you hold yourself accountable, the more you achieve, and the more you achieve, the more confident you become. With each success, big or small, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of achieving your goals. This confidence propels you forward, pushing you to take on even bigger challenges, set higher goals, and pursue even greater success. To wrap it all up, holding yourself accountable is the cornerstone of personal and professional growth. It is the action that turns dreams into reality, and it's the habit that separates those who succeed from those who merely wish for success. Accountability requires discipline, focus, and honesty with yourself. It demands that you take responsibility for your actions, your choices, and your results. It pushes you to do the work, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it, and even when the odds are stacked against you. If you want to make real progress, you have to hold yourself accountable every single day. Every day is an opportunity to move closer to your goals. Every day is a chance to prove to yourself that you are capable of greatness. And the more consistently you hold yourself accountable, the closer you get to the life you've always dreamed of. Accountability is not just about achieving success. It's about becoming the person who can achieve success. It's about developing the habits, mindset, and discipline that will carry you through every challenge and toward every goal. So take ownership of your life, Hold yourself accountable and start building the future you deserve.